Post by, Just 4 Drugs 2122. Shad1 is now offering A+ shards to Aussies, I should get my hands on some soon and see how it goes. Post by, Keiki. If it's international, 21 days is the point you worry, 30 days you count it gone. If it's domestic, including Canada to USA and USA to Canada, at 18 days you should be more than worried. Post by, Hassan Isabar. ABC 123 Nuthin, great to have you back dude. I prefer your entertaining tales of excess and insanity any day to the negativity of a few haters. They seem either completely uninterested or adverse to the drug of choice in this thread and the people who contribute to it. Which makes you wonder, what the fuck are they even doing here then? They can't even seem to able to share one mildly amusing anecdote. Since their intentions seem entirely malicious, I think it is entirely appropriate to call a spade and a troll a troll. Trolls have their origins in Middle Age mythology and were rumored to have resided under bridges. They would often claim ownership of these bridges and would interfere with their rite of passage of other individuals by attempting to block them with empty threats and insults. Trolls continue to make their annoying attention-seeking presence in the digital age known as well and have been a fixture on the internet ever since the introduction of the home computer a little over 3 decades ago. Their favorite haunts seem to be on YouTube, where they torment fans of Madonna or Lady Gaga from the safety and anonymity of the comments section. You would think that just about everyone regardless of age or computer experience knows what a fucking troll is. You don't need an encyclopedia to see what it means unless you are a complete moron. Since their online activities seem primarily motivated by malice, identifying someone as such, despite their pleas of ignorance, would seem nonetheless completely appropriate. Hopefully if we just ignore them they'll lose interest and return to their regular duties of issuing speeding tickets to skateboarders. Yawn, wake me up when these idiots have gone, will you? Cheers. P.S. See how I didn't mention any names? It's BC the idiots, despite their limited intellectual capacity, know exactly who they are. Also, naming them only seems to encourage them in their stupidity. Users don't lose drugs. Post by, EMU01. Just a quick note to say I got my order from WG today. 25 days to OS. Overweight and packaged to perfection. Great quality gear too. Gonna be a fun few days for me. Post by, Harpua25. The order I got today from Ndma Mail says you're wrong. Post by, The Store. It leaves my hands right when I confirm. It is another 0 to 3 days until it hits the post office. So it might have only been mailed 15 days ago. I have had a few orders to OS and NZ take about 18 days recently. I don't know why. Let's give it a few more days. As for the 2 users who left feedback saying they never received anything, they have never contacted me. I have sent them messages asking why they finalized if they did not get it, but they have not responded. Post by, Hassan Isabar. Any of you meth heads notice any cross-tolerance issues that might interfere with the effects of quality crystal MDMA? I did a few chunky rails tonight and didn't feel a fucking thing. I guess it's a no-brainer that I am not going to feel a thing from that European amphetamine sulfate paste either. I still have a few grams of it in my freezer and I could probably do the entire thing tonight if I wanted to, but would be able to easily fall asleep in an hour. I was looking for a reasonable substitute to meth, but I don't think I'll ever waste my money on that paste shit again. Mind you, I have also seemed to develop a high tolerance for opiates and I don't even get buzzed by smoking the best sativa indica anymore. Man, I'd like to have a good nod again. On another note, I am looking forward to having some GHB within the next week, which is apparently a good companion for meth use. I hear it can chill out a tweak real quick. Until then I've been improvising with a combo of diazepam, melatonin, and absinthe, which are rather effective to bring around a come down, and ensure a good night sleep. Sorry if this post isn't exactly organized, but what do you expect? I have been spinning like a whirling dervish since 7 this morning. When the do-gooders come to town, head for the hills. William Burroughs. Mix of MSM and N-isopropylbenzylamine HCl. Post by, marijuana is my muse. Post by, USDN methylamphetamine. I am finally restocked everyone. After focusing on cannabis for a few weeks I finally restocked with more crystal. Come by the shop and check the listing prices and most importantly the size of those shards. Mix of MSM and N-isopropylbenzylamine HCl. Post by, Hussein Bar. Actually it was another buyer that posted the review calling it fake. That Fish89 contacted me regarding the review as they had just placed an order and were concerned about quality and copy-pasted the review over here to try and get some more info from anyone else who had purchased from me. You were the only one that had posted anything on this thread regarding my gear and that was enough for that Fish89 to proceed and finalize. Now I have 2 good reviews. Thanks guys, MJMUSE. /OK, I get it now. However, I do think that this rather convoluted manner of checking in on your vendor can be very easily misinterpreted on a thread for meth reviews. I'd suggest next time if anyone wants to make an inquiry about the quality of a certain product that they just ask, anyone try this vendor's stuff? Directness in communication is an essential way of asserting yourself in the drug world and will greatly reduce any suspicions that you might be a scammer as well as your chances of getting ripped off. You certainly can't be pussyfooting around in this scene. Thanks for the clarification MJMUSE. You get +1 good karma just for keeping your cool in this often shifty meth scene. Cheers. When the do-gooders come to town, head for the hills. William Burroughs. Title, This Week's Orders. Post by, Professor Twack. Hey, just wanted to check in with any of my test subjects that ordered this week. I tweaked out on a couple of packages that disappeared domestically and ended up replacing all the labeling and postage on about 50 packages. So, in the end it was nothing, but you know, they were fucking with me. Anyway, packages in the motherfucking mail. DCNs on a motherfucking spreadsheet, emails to my motherfuckers sometime tonight. Happy motherfucking Mother's Day. Prof T. P.S. I haven't been able to read in a few days, but it seems we have a couple new vendors and another couple long-time vendors that have made up for lost time. It's good for business and it's good to have quality, honest guys on board. I swear a week is like a month on the road. PSS. I'll be vacation in OC land in a few weeks' time. What does that mean? Well, it means Prof T is doing a fucking remote destination mailing. If I don't end up in an Aussie prison, I'll be meeting up with some shard and some mailboxes to send some Aussie domestic mail orders, and no, it won't be $600 a gram. More like 550. I kid. We'll see, but it will be super cheap compared to prices I see on here. Stay cool. Post by, Thelis Remnant. So anyway, insults aside, I won't respond to, who's got the best meth for real. And let's leave the Canadian vendors out of this one. Would it be Heisenberg, Dub G, Proftwalk, USDN Meth, Sawmilk, or the store? Can anyone say? Post by, Harpua25. You just about nailed the order yourself. Post by, Thelis Remnant. And I am not saying that there is no good shit at all in Canada because that would be untrue, but believe me, there are a ton of scammers up there. I have been doing biz on the internet for a pretty long time, not to sound cocky, and you wouldn't believe how many scammers I've encountered from Canada. Plus, like I said, Canada does not have any crazy drug scenes, except Mary Jane. They are very good at that and have very good buds, but everything else, the USA would beat Canada's ass. Title, Re This Week's Orders. Post by, Gurry Dog. Haha. I like your thinking ABC. Just don't let the prof end up in Parramatta. Title, Re This Week's Orders. Post by, MRSIN. Please do, you would make a small fortune, enjoy this great country while you're here though. Post by, East of Eden. Just received from the professor. Took a bit of time to get to me, but Professor Twack just went over and beyond after I messaged him about the weight, as he upgraded the shipping, added like X4 times the quantity, offered me a partial refund because of the weight, and just look at these shards. Amazing stuff. EOE. Post by, South Aussie. Never mind sharks and crocs, watch out for drop bears. Post by, Kiddo 1999. Professor has no listings as of today. Post by, Priscilla Marie 90. MMHM, I agree. Post by, Pinkman. Still talking out of your ass again, I see. If you've gotten scammed from non-ESA vendors in Canada and you want to share that, fine. But to make shit up in order to support your personal experiences just makes you look dumb. I've partied in Canada quite a few times, and Canadians seem to party every bit as hard with a bountiful supply of in some cases superior product than what I've seen on average in the US. For instance, China white from Asia coming in through Vancouver is all the rage, making it the standard, common type of H they're wearing the US. It's predominantly shitty Mexican black tar. MDMA, MDA, glass, have always been top-notch when I've hooked up there. And there. Rave club scene is every bit as heavy as anything I've encountered in the States. Canadians will party for 3, 4, 5 days at a time just as much as San Francisco tweakers. In fact, whereas the SF tweakers are more niche, staying up for days at a time going to club after club is more mainstreamed in Canadian metropolitans. So a far better barometer than your anti-Canada bias and assorted bullshit would be to gauge a vendor by his feedback, number of transactions, and product reviews. Miam seems to rate high on all three. Ordering from Canada wouldn't be my first choice simply because of the added expected shipping time and the far higher prices of the Canadian sellers. At least when it comes to meth. But those are empirical reasons that can be verified by anyone here. Not hearsay. Based on your bigoted, faulty logic that since you got scammed by some Canadians that they don't know how to make drugs and have no good party scenes. There are tools on ESA that insulate you from scammers if you bother to use them, so your past experiences where you paid someone in Canada in advance to hook you up and got scammed is of little to no value here. Post by, Ecopactum. Well, after receiving a message from Professor Twack on Thursday that my package had shipped, 3rd day after marked in transit, 5th day after order was placed, and would be here on Friday or Sat at the latest, I checked my mailbox again expecting a package. Nothing. I placed the order last Saturday, have requested a DCN twice and have not received it. The professor has been great to me, and I will continue to order from him, but this delay is killing me. It will be on the 9th day since I placed the order that I receive, and that's if I receive on Mon, I believe I will. I have a lot of stuff to do this weekend that I was hoping to have this package for, that's why I ordered it last weekend, to ensure that I would have it by now. Things happen for whatever reason, and I understand. Hopefully those of you that ordered from the prof won't run into the delay that I ran into. He's always been very good to me, and his product was top-notch last time. I know it's not easy being a vendor, especially a one-man team, but I could have at least had a DCN by now. When Monday comes I will update and let everyone know if the package arrived. Let's hope it does. Eco. Post by, Fiat Lux 777. Hi all. Can anyone advise on an update of where VMM is at? Some month and a half ago, maybe more, I placed my very first ESA order with VMM and, nothing. Contacted by PM and was advised that order had been lost whilst in the midst of a move, would be sent soon and, nothing. No responses to PMs. Anyone else had this issue lately? Also curious if anyone has heard from WG lately, order placed 3 days ago, still processing. Not responding to PMs. Not having a very successful run lately. Post by, Fiat Lux 777. Thanks for the reply ABC 123 Nuthin, much appreciated. Post by, Gooey Dog. I think ABC is bang on with his analogy of the VMM situation. He has been trying to fulfill the lost orders, but obviously if he lost nearly all he had, he can't just pull crystal out of his ass. He's gotta get new customs so he can get more crystal to send out the missing shit. I personally have to give the guy big props for sticking around, taking all that shit from pissed off mofos and sorting people out as and when he could. He could have just walked off into the ether and not bothered to clean up his mess, then reappear as some other vendor persona and started from scratch. But no. He is true to his word. I understand he is not the most timely shipper, but I would order again from the dude. In other news, I'm still waiting on my WG package. It was posted a week ago last Monday to the UK. I was really fucking hoping it would be here for this weekend, but alas, no one. 7 days to auto-finalize, but I'm sure it'll be here in next couple of days. I'm well excited to receive this now. Edit due to bad spelling. Tongue face. 2:26 and 34 seconds, 1-50, Jan 25.2012 June 2, 2012, Part 018X. Ends here. Post by, Quay 1979. Here's my experience on here. Let me preface this with the fact that I am a stoner/tweaker, great combo, right? And they work well together, even me out. Vroom vroom. Very first order was with vroom vroom. I ordered on a Tuesday, it was at my door early that Saturday, overnight delivery, and at least twice what the order was placed. I figured I had found my guy, right? Second order, still with vroom, smooth. Third order, for a much larger quantity, and then the incident with vroom happened, along with his health issues, and I had to wait, and wait, and wait, and then when it did finally come, it was half of what it was supposed to be, 0.5 instead of 1.0. I hate that anxious feeling you get in your stomach when you check the mailbox after work and nada, kills me. Anyway, eventually it was rectified and, I have nothing but the best admiration for this man, he's good people. VMM. As I was waiting on the vroom issue to resolve, I thought I would try another person for a small amount. I ordered 0.5 from VMM, he required that I finalized early, and I did, and nothing, never came. I was so exhausted from the vroom thing, the checking messages, checking profiles, etc., that I was just over it. I didn't really push the issue, it wasn't for that much, so be it, right? That's the price of doing business. I have since PM'd him and said, hey, here my address, make good if you want to, but honestly, he's not worth my fucking time and stress. WG. Talk about a machine, everything was stellar, nice packaging, and great product, but right now he's doing larger orders. I have a local supply and this is supplemental, mix and difference batches helps, etc. I will likely end up saving and just placing orders through him in the future, with various others on the side for variety. I've determined that you do the same batch/stuff for a while and it just stops working. Regardless of sleep, etc. Period. Prof Twok. I feel bad about the issue he had in the beginning with the people stealing, etc. I don't know the details, I just know that he has always had the better communication of really all of them and is a total stand-up guy. I'm waiting on an order from this guy currently, I was half expecting it today, isn't here, my local supply is kinda weak right now, so I'm on the edge of jonesing, but hey, what can you do? Last weekend he totally came through fast for a birthday and has great stuff. I will say that right after the incident with him, he double-timed it and is bringing his rating up and up and up. I guess the missus is helping right now, and I can fully attest to how a little bit of ass can be distracting, so I'm begrudging him anything right now. Go, Prof, tap that, brother. Heisenberg. Okay, this guy's posts on here crack me up. Folks, if you can't have a little fun in this business, then it's not worth it. When I first moved to my current city, I went through a period where I sold crystal, pills, and gram, and it supplemented my income and paid for my habit. It became too much, too tempting midweek, etc., so I cut it out. I know what it's like to be hounded constantly, so the fact that this guy can have a laugh, by God let him, and be glad he laughs. Also expecting a package from him as well, I ordered both the Prof and Heisenberg orders at the same time. Instead of one larger, I did two smaller, and it certainly wasn't set up to be a race, I just wanted to diversify. Variety is the spice of life, ladies and gentlemen. This will be my first Heisenberg order, but I've heard good things, well except for what's his face that has a harden over his .75, seriously. Dude, work broken record Thing 69. And I mean this as advice from a person that has been on the supply and on the demand end. It's just fucking drugs. I realize you feel slighted, but you're being a dick. Cut it out. You need to realize that the people with the product have those that want the product by the balls. I'm really okay with this as long as there is no unnecessary roughness. When you start throwing mud at your supply, I would imagine that the supply considers that balance paid in full. Period. You've screwed yourself and can write that 0.75 off, brother, it ain't gonna happen. So there you have it, all but one, that being VMM, are stand-up guys that work hard for their money. I've been there, and please folks, cut 'em some slack. It's a lot to deal with. Quay 1979. Post by, work for it 69. Nice try Heisenberg on turning this around, but it's not gonna work. Please go ahead and post whatever you want to show that I'm a liar. Unlike you, I can't just lie whenever it suits me. Do you really want me to post all PMs and all the lies you've been telling me these past 3 months? First though, I will post the PM, the only PM I might add, where you told me what was really going on and were actually truthful, and that PM you admit to lying to me. So not only do I have proof of how dishonest you are, but it comes directly from you, lol. So please man, go ahead and post away all the lies I've been telling. Because still in your eyes it's me that had done you wrong. Post by, work for it 69. Wow, some more nonsense from the greatest meth dealer on SR. He's so successful at selling drugs he needs loans from his customers that never get paid back. Post by, Pinkman. Of almost identical situation to yours. I ordered early Monday, order processed Tuesday afternoon, and I was really hoping to get it Saturday at latest, but it didn't happen. I read his page and freak out of a couple lost orders, causing the delay, so I'm trying to remain understanding, although patience can be difficult. I fully expect Monday as well, but a week I think is much too long to have to wait for domestic. I am thinking in the future, based on feedback and recent spate of reviews here, I'm going to have to save up and try Dub G. He seems like a real pro and his pictures are surely the most aesthetically gorgeous. If his product comes anywhere close to matching how sick it looks, then it's no wonder he charges such a high premium. USDN Meth looks like an up-and-comer with promise I'll keep an eye on, mostly because his price is right. Anyone tried his new shard restock yet? Post by, Pinkman. First of all, thanks for taking the time to create an account to post that excellent vendor-by-vendor review. Second, I found what you said here curious. How long does it take, or how much do you have to do, before a batch just stops working for you? Post by, work for it 69. I've also been on both sides of the business, and I would never have done what he did to one of my customers because it would have put me out of business eventually. Honestly, I'm amazed that so many people can sympathize with him over his downright shitty business practices. Never in my life have I ever had to loan money to one of my dealers. It was always the other way around. It's a testament to how bad he is at it. I also agree about how great it is that he can joke and post nonsensical stuff for our amusement on the forums and in private. It's probably one of the reasons I picked him to be my dealer. Most of my drug dealers have been like this, with one huge glaring difference though. First and foremost, they got their business done right and proper, the other stuff came after. Lastly, I would like to point out that he owes me almost 1.5 grams because he promised me over and over in his PMs that I would be compensated for having my order take so long. Another user posted that such a small amount wasn't worth keeping a grudge over, and to him I said, then you go ahead and send it to me. I put the same thing to you. Otherwise I will continue to post about how I got screwed by him until I get what I am owed. Post by, Quay 1979. That's really hard to say. I do know that in the past, when I've been on the receiving end of a decent and seemingly never-changing supply, what I remember is that it tasted like a mixture of fresh-cut grass and peppermint, at least to me. A friend from out of state would come visit, and I would try their stuff, and, ZOINK, it was OMGZ. What is this STUFFZ? Where mine would seem all, wah wah trombone slide frowny face. At first the thought was his stuff is way better, right? Nope. because he thought the very same about mine. I just think that our bodies will, depending on the impurities, cut, etc., start to almost build up a resistance to that specific combination of active ingredient plus impurities. Why would the active ingredient, which is likely existent in roughly the same percentage in both, affect us differently? My guess it's just as much mental as it is physical. Hell, maybe even more mental, just my thoughts. Post by Pinkman. Makes sense. But have you noticed the lessening of potency even now with the quality of the ESA hookups after using the same type from the same source for a while? Post by Quay 1979. Post by Ecopactum. 3 hours until the mail comes. Wish me luck. Post by Quay 1979. JPINK, it's really hard to say, everyone seems to have a batch of great stuff now and then and surely has batches of bad. But over the last few years, yes, I think quality overall has gone down, or my tolerance has gone up. I am thinking it's the tolerance. And the powers above apparently didn't want me to get high today. 2 in-transit orders today, 0 arrived. This all equals me climbing back in bed with the puppy. Frowny face. Post by Tabanoid. Well, I'll jump in and rehash my limited experiences with meth vendors. H. Berg came through for Nye, pop my meth cherry, great night, day, night. Dub G, quick ship, perfect communications, felt dope was good, used again after a 2-month break, same experience. Vlum, X2, quick ship first time, slight delay on second with upgrade to express for free, felt dope was good. USDN meth clearance sale on last GM, quick ship, great communications, felt dope was good, not as good as some other but no disappointments. Won't name vendor, hit on a special, 2 grams for under $100, while it got me high somewhat, it wore off real quick, and it smoked a little different. To put in perspective, I've IV'd 4 times total this year. First time was tiny amount, number 2 and 3 got me off real good, lasted at least 5 to 6 hours easy, maybe about 100 to 200 milligrams each time. From unnamed vendors. Bag I did about 350 milligrams split in 2, I felt baseline after 2 hours if even that, eating a quarter pound to 3 hours after IV. I was only smoking tiny bits for a few days leading up to it. In fairness, I haven't mentioned it to vendor, but I don't want to reship or anything, might be out of this game for a while. The thing I don't understand is I've seen some raving reviews for the vendor's gear. Oh well, just a ramble, maybe I'll try the Heisenberg heroin, dosage scares me, I'm not a regular opiate user. Post by Labot Barn. I've posted this from his vendor page and review threads, but it's expanded a bit here because more people will see it here, and I was really impressed by him as a vendor. I'm impressed by the prof in terms of both my current, first, Ordway and his history, took care of all customers after partner ran him into ground, came back to triumph. I know I'm not the first to write a glowing review, but honestly, he deserves all the recognition he can get, especially amongst all the BS instability in the MA vendor scene. I wish I would have ordered from him sooner, so I'll share my experience in hopes that others, like myself, who may have been spoiled by Vroom Vroom, or others vendors no longer active and or reliable, will find their new guys. I feel I have with Professor Twack. It seems all our vendors on ESA have great product, yeah, YMMV, as do batches and our neurochemistry, but I really appreciate, and what makes me cherish SR, is when I find an open, friendly, communicative, and benevolent vendor. Review. Professor Twack. This guy. He is doing it right. You've earned lifetime tenure, my friend. It's an unconfirmed rumor at this point, but the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences is said to be considering you as a nominee for Nobel Prize awards in chemistry and economics due to your outstanding achievements and contributions in the areas of quality product distribution and superior customer satisfaction, overcoming adversity like a boss, and the discovery of big-ass potent shards with a novel ability to gain mass when faced with minor shipping delays. From this single transaction I've concluded the following. Professor Twack is an honest and professional top-shelf ESA vendor, Likely Dolph Lundgren, a muscular scientist superhero. With the special ability to sniff security threats with high specificity using his nose. When he's not busy cooking monster batches of big-ass potent shards or filling orders in the lab with his poorly calibrated, yet generous, scale, he divides his precious free time between weekly sabbatical, Thur's son, and banging Mrs. Twock, his beautiful young lab assistant. Haha, just trying to have fun, I'm feeling great and this ref from always. Sunny S5E11 came to mind. On a serious note, thank you for the excellent communication and service, regular updates, and IMHO, the best product I've ever purchased from SR. There's just something special about it. Friend, whom I always share goods with, who rarely appraises anything highly, also appraised the stuff quite highly today. We rarely agree. I already knew Professor Ordway was an excellent vendor from watching the forums, but what really caught me off guard was the superiority of his product. Buzz feels perfect to me and so long-legged. And his gratuitous generosity. Not only does he catch me off guard with the best goods ever, but triples my order. I highly recommend the Professor Ordway. He earned my loyalty well before my order arrived. Post by Subliminal Criminal. Agreed. About halfway through a batch, more or less depending on quality, I feel little to no effect anymore. A gram will usually last me a couple weeks, a few days on a few days off. I don't blow right through it, so I would assume I just build a tolerance rather quickly. However, I have noticed switching vendors after each batch helps for some reason, just as much, if not more than, switching up my method of administration and taking frequent breaks, plenty of rest, water, vitamins, etc. Post by Quay 1979. Wow, a responsible user, good for you, brother. I wish more of my friends were that way. That is breaks, rest, water, vitamins, etc. Remember, boys and girls, you use the drugs shouldn't use you. Post by Paray. Dub G has the best meth that I have ever tried, so he is deaf. My number 1. Maria Winner's Muse from Canada. The quality was so-so, it was cut heavily and 0.5 grams did not last long at all, but delivery time was superb. Anyone here who has tried Crystal Wife's new batch of meth? By looking at the picture it looks better than last time. Cheers. Paray. Post by Gooey Dog. I'm really hoping my package from Dub G arrives tomorrow. It was marked in transit 15 days ago from us to UK. I know this is still reasonable, but it should be here any day and I'm itching to get my hands on it now. Haha. On another tip, I don't have a meth pipe as yet. Didn't want to order one till my Dub G ting arrived and you can't buy them in shops in the UK. I'm planning to use some foil to try it out until I can get my pipe delivered. How would this be done? I chase heroin on foil, running it up and down, vaporizing it. Is it the same technique with meth? Or do you make a well kind of shape with the foil and plonk a rock of meth in the well and gently rock it in a puddle at bottom of the well, whilst inhaling the vapor through a foil tube? Any advice would be great, as I don't want to waste any if possible until I can get my pipe. Maybe I'm best to snort it? Post by Hassan Isabar. Shit bro, put your seat belt on. A proper bubble pipe is the best way to smoke it, nothing nicer than taking in a big haul on it and blowing a big stream of smoke. In the meantime you can improvise. I find you won't get as much using tin foil with meth as you might with H. Take a light bulb and break it open gently with the end of a kitchen utensil. Hopefully you'll get a few big pieces. Clean off the chemical dust with a tissue. Get a straw. Put a chunk on the glass and happily heat. The best lighters to use are torches, as regular lighters leave too much soot. The first few times I did it I thought it felt just like heroin. I might have ADD. If you want to maximize the boost, chop it up into small lines, not as big as yayo lines and snort away. It burns like mofo, but you will go from 1 to a million in like 3 minutes. Be careful buddy. This ain't European speed paste, this is the strongest stim you can possibly get. Drink lots of orange juice and water. Take vitamins like omega-3, fish oil. Take it early in the day so you aren't up all night. Have some Valium around just in case, and fuck, go out and get a bottle of absinthe, that's a lovely combo to bring you down. Before you go out in public make sure you have a good shower BC it gives off a nasty body sweat. Have fun. Be safe. Drug misuse is not a disease it's a decision, like the decision to stand in front of a moving car. Philip K. Dick. Post by, Hassan Isabar. I had some delivery from MIMM last week and that shard was fucking good. On par with anything I ever got from Dub G and Prof Whack. So good, in fact, that I just placed another order with him. What makes you think it was cut? What could it be cut with? Did you do a chemical analysis? Drug misuse is not a disease it's a decision, like the decision to stand in front of a moving car. Philip K. Dick. Post by, Gurry Dog. Nice one Broove. Yeah I think he'll prob just snort it then as can be fucked with breaking up light bulbs and just get my chicken bone pipe online. I'm expecting big things from this drug. I've tried every mainstream and a lot of non-mainstream drugs over the years and actually was not a fan of amphetamine and preferred cocaine, including crack when taking stims. Now after watching Breaking Bad, being curious for a while, and now being available to me via SR. I'm strapping on that seatbelt real tight. Haha it's all about that pipe ain't it really? Lol I can't see me buying it much though as it appears very expensive. Only another 20 Bitcoin for an 8-ball of coke off min, movie it nice, than what I am paying for 1G of Dub G's meth. But fuck. I'm dying to see what the hype is about. Oh and I'm thinking heroin should bring me back to earth nicely and to sleep. Thanks for the welfare concern and advice. Hassan is bro. Post by, Gurry Dog. Love reading your posts ABC. I even read them with an Aussie accent in my head. Funny madness. Plug it? Lol tempting but I've never done that with any drug and I can't see I am gonna start now. Ha ha yeah, I am sure I'll be back. No fucking doubt if it's as good as I think it's gonna be. And actually VMM is back on board with his 22 BTC grams making it more within my spending zone. It's just I'm more a stoner heroin nodding type guy and I'm not mad for stimulants except on the weekends usually. Though. It is every weekend, and, all weekend when I'm free from work. I can't wait to review Dub G's gear. Maybe tomorrow is gonna be the one. Also, I'm down to 3 days till auto finalize. What should I do from this point? I certainly don't wanna let this happen, and to be true, I don't really want a refund either if it fucks up my new fledgling stats to put off other vendors. I like this place. Lol I've only ordered within Europe before nothing ever took this long before so not sure on protocol. I sent him a PM to apologize to still have funds in escrow but no response yet. Any ideas peeps? Post by, Cacaoths. Have some benzos on hand if ya really want a smooth landing after flying high for a couple days. Yeah, fuck the pipe. Spike that shit, and never worry again about nasty drains and chemical tastes. Post by, Gurry Dog. Yeah got some temazepam and diazepam to hand and as usual some nice buds and base number 3 heroin so we'll be good for coming down off the meth. Can't do injections though my man. Hate the fucking things. Lol plus I just love smoking shit. Post by, Cacaoths. Yeah, bro, I understand. Was just making idle chit chat. Funny thing is, though, there was a time when I hated needles. Just the thought of getting a shot made me woozy and lightheaded. After getting addicted to old school Aussie, and not wanting to be dope sick, I started looking for more efficient ROAs to get the most bang for my buck. And so it progressed to H and the spike. Now, even though I just chip, albeit more than I should, IV is my preferred method for everything. I just can't get over my love for the feel of the steel, and the goddamned rush that comes with it. I can say this from experience, though, pill junkie or needle junkie, dope sick is dope sick. And by using safe injection practices, any risk associated with IV drug use can be minimized. Post by, Labot Barn. Post by, Costello 143. Hi to all. That is 13 days my letter was shipped from Canada to Europe. Have anyone experimented this kind of long delay? With one other Canadian vendor my letter arrives in 7 to 9 days. Strange or not? Thanko, give me your opinion. Post by, Ketoljigdaxivin. Haha, just make sure when you vape your meth it doesn't look like Jesse's dirty black bowl. Clearly the makers of the show or the network want to portray the dirty side of meth. If you vape it slowly and patiently, it will taste pleasant and will stay clear in the bowl. Wash it between uses or every few uses if you want to collect stuff for scraping. I once tried burning meth the same way Jesse does it just to experience how bad it can get, and man, that was almost enough to turn me off meth completely. So now I know if I want to put a session to an end, I just burn the crap out of what's left in the bowl, and the smell stays in the house for ages and you don't want to pick the pipe up for a while. On another note, expecting Dub G's package for the 3rd time in the next couple of days and really looking forward to it. Also am sampling MJ My Muse's product soon, so we'll let you guys know how it is. Post by, Thelis Remnant. We're in the SIT's predominantly shitty Mexican black tar. Wow, I am speechless. Did you just really say that? I really wish I could reach through my computer right now and smack the fucking stupid out of you. USA will rape Canada's dope scene any day, any time, in any universe. You can now resume sucking Canada's cock. I tried to be civil, but you wanted to keep talking shit about me personally and I cannot let your ignorant ramblings go unpunished. I don't even know you, twat, and you come out here right off the bat start talking shit about me like you know me. Post by, Paray. Well, there has to be someone who receives good stuff. The 2 bigger, small, crystals were meth, but I had at least 5 even smaller shards that were the exact same size, exactly like MSM. Even if I picked one of the meth shards it is impossible to compare it to Dub G's stuff. Post by, you will never know. Is there anyone that has a little shard they will overnight me? I would prefer it be a vendor, but even someone with a little extra personal that has some rep here would do. Would get me out of a real pinch. Thanks. Post by, Harpua 25. Since I've vouched for him so many times I feel obligated to say that I'd hold off on ordering from Heisenberg until further notice. Not exactly sure what his problem is this time, but he's apparently fucking up again. Post by, Ecopactum. Okay, this review is a little late, 2 days, but better now than never. Placed an order with Professor Twack 2 Saturdays ago. Although it shipped out later than he said it would, profile stated orders would be shipped no later than Monday evening. Package didn't ship until Thursday of last week, it still came in just as expected. I was working and didn't have a chance to weigh it before I used some, but it was fatter than the last half and the last half weighed in at 0.6 g. He communicated with me throughout the entire week when it took longer to process than anticipated, and when he had the shipping delay. Just like always, the professor was a class act, a real pleasure to do business with. Now, quality. IV and smoke, but primarily IV. Let me tell you, the first shot I did had me thinking that maybe I did too much. It had such a strong vapor feeling to it that it made me cough. Yes, from injecting this happens, although typically it is just a taste, not a sensation. Every shot after did the same thing, and the euphoria had my head fucking reeling. It burned. About like last time, good and pretty much clean, a little waist cut, but that's always expected. Hopefully this helps anyone that's wondering whether or not to order from him. It may take a while depending on how swamped he is, but it will come, and he will communicate, kindly, as well, and it will be of quality and weight. Seller, Eco. Post by, Cacawaths. Nice description, this is what I call solvent flash. Reminds me very much of the odor of rubbing alcohol, except that it's more of a sensation than it is an odor, something that's happening internally. When I do a hefty shot of really good crystal, the solvent flash makes me cough too, followed almost immediately by the wobbly eyes and then a euphoric I've shot BTH cut with instant coffee, and it was very odd to be able to smell and taste coffee almost immediately after pushing the plunger, but solvent flash is different. Not really a taste, not really an odor, just more of a sensation. The first time I ever shot crystal kind of freaked me out because I wasn't expecting it, and had no fucking idea what it was. I still don't, but I'd really like to understand the pharmacology behind it. Any ideas? Post by, Vortex Milkman. Bouncing back Bowie. Post by, K Squizzle. No shit, right, and I was so fucking excited but was basically forced to cancel today, like 20 minutes before I get a message from him. Post by, Harpua25. You've definitely got the opportunity to fill a void. If only you could work on those 2-month delivery times. Post by, Hassan Isabar. Still talking out of your ass again, I see. If you've gotten scammed from non-ESA vendors in Canada and you want to share that, fine. But to make shit up in order to support your personal experiences just makes you look dumb. Come on guys, save the patriotism for a wrestling event where you can vent any misdirected anger, cheer or boo certain wrestlers, and after 2 hours can go home feeling much better about your own lives. Another thing, what relevance does rape or cocksucking have on a public forum and a thread that is specifically designated for METH reviews? I know neither one of you, but you might want to exercise a little more discretion. I don't care about what you do in the privacy of your home, but please keep your apparent fantasies about rape and cocksucking to yourselves if you want to maintain your heterosexual front. Using homosexual taunts often says far more about the speaker than it does the recipient. Nari, the nonsense, the apples are better than oranges. I personally don't identify with the state and believe that if less people did, the world would be a much better place for it. I did not choose my place of birth, and my nationality is completely accidental and irrelevant. I don't feel like I owe one fucking thing to any government. I don't recall signing any kind of agreement that grants them their absolute authority over my life. I despise any asshole who intrudes into my life with the introduction, "Hello. I am from the government and we are here to help you." I'd like to shoot a fucker like that between the eyes. You wanna burn the flag of my country, go ahead, wipe your ass with it, I couldn't give a flying fuck. It means absolutely nothing to me. It is only natural that with a much larger population the US is going to have a much bigger market with a far greater selection of goods than Canada. There is also a very obvious big demand for drugs despite the war on drugs, as evidenced by all the violence occurring in Mexico, where 50,000 civilians have died in the last 3 years after it tried to implement an aggressive drug prohibition campaign at the behest of the US. Domestically, the US has the highest rate of incarceration in the Western world, 1/4 of those for non-violent drug-related crimes, 70% of those non-white. However, BC Canada is far less aggressive in its application of drug prohibition, no declared war on drugs, no DEA, no mandatory minimums, and tends to lean towards a more enlightened harm reduction model. It is far easier for drugs to be imported, used, sold, and grown in Canada. Vancouver, BC is a major drug port for ketamine, X, and is the heroin cocaine capital of North America. See the recent National Geographic drug documentaries on illegal drugs. You can easily purchase almost any drug in broad daylight on block away from police headquarters. I doubt that there is another city on the continent that has a safe injection site. The west coast of Canada is world famous for its potent marijuana. Access to the precursors necessary for making meth, molly, or other synthetic drugs are much easier to acquire. You can go into any pharmacy and purchase harm reduction supplies, rigs, without any hassle. You can go buy pseudoephedrine products like Sudafed without any identification. Consequently, Canada is the second major source for many of the illegal drugs entering the US after Mexico. I have had the good fortune to have met good and bad people on either side of the border. Whether you're American or Canadian is irrelevant to me. If you go into space and look at the Earth, you will not see any borders. Borders are arbitrary imaginary markings established by competitive alpha male primates to ensure their control of the tribe and to ensure that they remain the sole benefactors of every activity within that territory. The urine markings that define any border simply serves as a warning to outsiders who are perceived with suspicion. Passports serve as a means of both greeting and identification, much in the same way that dogs sniff each other's assholes before either fighting or fucking. Anyways, let's try and stick with the purpose of this thread and stop accusing each other of engaging in fellatio. As Rodney King said after the LA riots, "Can't we all just get along?" Okay, that was my meth-fueled rant of the day. Peace out. Drug misuse is not a disease, it's a decision, like the decision to stand in front of a moving car. Philip K. Dick. Post by Invisibleman007. AWWW shit really? Damn, I just placed an order, / I've always wanted to try his Arrez too, well fingers crossed we'll see what happens. Wish me luck. Post by Priscilla Marie 90. Are you guys fucking serious? Has anyone talked to Heisenberg? I'm going to fucking jail tomorrow. I have been praying every day to the meth gods that my package will arrive before I go. I'm going to fucking cry if it doesn't. Post by Invisibleman007. Are you really going to jail? If so, I'm sorry to hear that. Post by Harpua25. I finally got a response, at least. We'll see. Post by Harpua25. And I kinda feel obligated to post the response I got, mainly because it's the essence of Heisenberg's patented customer service approach. Post by Ganja Believer. Just received almost 0.7 grams of rock salt consistency Tina from VMM. I only bought 0.25, about a month ago. But I'm not a habitual user, so it wasn't a big deal for me as it was for others. I stood up for VMM the whole time and had faith, and he finally came through with flying colors. Slow delivery but good product and a fat sack. Post by Hassan Isabar. Haha. Sounds like he's on a tweak run. I can't say I blame him. Hopefully he's saved enough tar to bring himself down. I must admit he is quite a colorful character. Someone I would def party with. Awesome sense of humor. It's too bad that his customer service is so unpredictable and inconsistent. BC the quality of his product is legendary. I know he has a very loyal fan base, so I am not dissing him here, but personally I would be very reluctant to buy from him. Good communication is something I insist upon whenever I am dealing with any vendor. Drug misuse is not a disease, it's a decision. Like the decision to stand in front of a moving car. Philip K. Dick. Post by Harpua25. Well, he's no longer incommunicado, at least. Dunno what the disappearance was all about, but apparently he's back around. Still gonna be a shitty remainder of the week though. Post by Magilla Cutter Johns. Hello everyone. I have had some sales on my meth and have heard only good things. I invite everyone to check me out. A link to my profile page and a few products are below. Post by Fried Rice. Just wondering if anyone knows if Crystal Wife's product is good and packaged well for overseas delivery. Post by The Company. New vendor alert, the people have spoke. Too long have the cries of unjust rang through the valleys of meth. Shame on you meth vendors. Not only a new king has come for the throne, a new empire is being rebuilt. You, the buyer, have wanted a reliable vendor? Well, wish no more. Fast, reliable, 24/7 communication. We are the company. The company is the next big thing on the road. We have our own private group that manages and supplies many other distributors and large-scale conduit dealers internationally and have been in business for years. We notice right now the road is filled with many great vendors, but in the high-demand substances categories it's fickle, too fickle. Too many people trying to peddle their wares on here with no consistency. Have you yearned for a vendor with A1 customer service, no BS, and all business? Well, when you buy any of our products, you are not just simply buying an item, but you are purchasing a ticket to the best booth in the carnival that guarantees a lifetime experience. What does this mean? Head on over to our profile at and find out. Right now, we are having a grand opening special, cheapest ice on the road ever offered. 9.99 Bitcoin 1/2 G grand opening bonanza special. Oh. See. The company. Post by, Aussie reviewer account. Received a gram of meth from the store to Oz in under a week. Wow, did the store teleport this shit or what? The ad says it would be wet on arrival but was not wet at all. Burns very clean and has a very clean feeling high to it. Great communication from the store also. All up a very good transaction. Post by, Aussie reviewer account. I have looked at your meth and was just wondering as to why you have such a wide-ranging price, and have targeted Oz and UK with these extremely exaggerated prices. $600 for a 8-ball to Australians etc. Why buy an 8-ball from you at $600 when other vendors sell for much cheaper? And their prices are standard, doesn't matter where you're from. Post by, Harpua25. I'll be a guinea pig. Order placed with the company. I'll report back when I receive it, hopefully soon. Post by, Hassan Isabar. Wow, that is quite the intro, for sure the more vendors the merrier. Welcome aboard. The prices up until now have been somewhat ridiculous and some of the meth vendors are a little inconsistent with their customer service, no need to flame. Drug misuse is not a disease, it's a decision. Like the decision to stand in front of a moving car. Philip K. Dick. Post by, Harpua25. That may be true, ABC, but you're either the luckiest person here or the best at smooth-talking vendors into treating you right. Most of us have not been nearly as fortunate, though, and have had at least one negative experience with a vendor. Eater, that was in reference to your statement that you'd never experienced anything but quality and consistency. Post by, Thelis Remnant. Thanks for insinuating that I rape people and that I am gay. Lol. I live in America, but I am not an American and I agree with you that the SGOVT is a piece of corrupted shit. Haha, and actually one of the biggest reasons of why it is so corrupt is the same reason we are all here, drugs. The war on drugs is not really a war on drugs, it is a war on personal freedom and a war on our inherent human birthright to alter, expand our consciousness. The drug trade is only second to the arms trade on this earth, there is no other activity on this planet that will make you as much money as selling guns or drugs. Actually, this whole world is upside down. The things that are in most demand in this world, are actually made illegal, such as guns and drugs, and this way, the items that people really want need the most, the people cannot have unless they pay 2,000% more than what that item is worth. And this way, we are all getting fucked daily. Anyway, just so that I keep on the subject at hand and I don't get yelled at again by my parents, who's got the best meth right now? Peace. Post by, Aussie reviewer account. Why don't you find it right to question such random prices? Seems the guy pulled some random numbers out of a hat, highly targeted, PFFT. 4K for an ounce to Aussies and double that for UK, but then he'll charge UK less for an 8-ball than Oz. Are you serious? Now that's consistency at its best. Not that I was asking her advice anyways, ABC, this is Silk Road and not a local book club. Who gives a shit about his good reviews etc, these are legit questions that you fail to answer. Maybe we should leave it to the vendor to answer. Post by, B003S. Hey, sorry for being such a noob, but WHIHC store, are you talking about Aussie? Post by, Dreamer101. Ordered from Mail to see how his stuff is but haven't gotten it. It's been almost 2 weeks and I usually get my Canadian orders much quicker. Will update later. Post by, Costello143. Hi to all. I received my order from Mail. I take approximately 2 weeks to go to Canada from Europe. Packaging is perfect. The meth is overweight. Ordered 0.5 g and received 0.718 g. Marketing method or scale broken? I'm not a big meth connoisseur. The meth is totally transparent crystal color. I received 2 shards and a little shardy powder. Not totally crushed powder. I appreciate. The taste on the tongue is acid, on the meth ball pipe. The drop at begin is totally transparent and it perfectly recrystallize. The taste of the smoke is a bit acid, on my other meth tested, CW and VMM, I think the taste was not very acid. What can the community say about this? At the final, there is a very little light brown trace, same with CW and VMM. The duration of one charge of meth in the meth pipe seemed to be more quickly than the other meth tested. I put a little and I think this little go faster at the other. But I was euphoric, so it's possible I heat more and aspire stronger. In all, this guy is totally reliable for me. He seemed to be totally honest too. He said if I don't receive at the end of the week he refund me. Perfect guy. I have no complaints anyone, I only want to say thank you. I repeat, I am not a big meth connoisseur, my world is more coke. What can the community say of my reviews? I'm waiting on reviews of my reviews. Thanked my mail. Post by, Paray. Your prices are ludicrous, no one knows you or your product and you list those kinds of prices, good luck. Post by, Hassan Isabar. Nah bro, I ain't insinuating anything about you, your language insinuated it. I don't know you, I am just interested in what the Austrian philosopher described as language games. You were clearly an insightful fellow and your analysis of the war on some drugs is an indication of your intelligence. I am in complete agreement with your observations on this very subject. Obscenities are generally used by people who are uneducated and inarticulate, characteristics that are not evident in your reply here back to me. I think that such activity is entirely beneath you and would suggest that it would be to your advantage to let people who say stupid things allow their language define them. It is no use getting angry at the passing comments of total strangers that you come across on the internet. It is almost pointless as a fellow who gets a case of road rage on a busy highway during rush hour. He'll be the one whose high blood pressure will be the cause of a stroke. Anyways, I meant you no disrespect, so can we talk about our shared interest, which is methamphetamine? Hee. I have bought from Professor Twack, who is some very good shot at probably the cheapest price, but he is currently on vacation for a week or two. I ordered from him over 3 weeks ago, have yet to receive but have no doubts that upon his return he'll reship. He is a decent fellow and tends to generous with weight. G is a reputable vendor and his product is very good. He is also a very good fellow and gave me 20 milligrams extra in addition to the gram I ordered. However, delivery was a little slow and the shard arrived all crushed. I usually prefer big chunky crystals for my bowl. Nonetheless, I got into snorting for the first time. It burns like a mofo, but I discovered that it is a more efficient way of using your stash. I have heard that Vortex Milkman and Heisenberg also have very good product, but their customer service is somewhat inconsistent for one reason or another. If you order from them it will eventually show, but it could be up to a month before you get it, and if you are like me you want it ASAP. I have recently discovered marijuana is my muse and I was quite pleased with his packaging, speed, and quality. It was as good as anything that I got from Profwack and G. I just placed an order with him on Monday and expect to get it by it tomorrow. The only catch is, he's Canadian, haha. However, a most intriguing vendor has appeared on the scene today, the company who is based in the US and is selling half grams for 9.99 Bitcoin, which is an irresistible offer. I wish I had coins. Damn, that's a good deal. I can't speak for the other vendors, having never ordered from them, but I suggest going carefully through the forum before placing an order. A vendor who is totally awesome and reliable today can turn out to be a total scammer tomorrow. Anyways, good luck with scoring. All the best. The limits of my language are the limits of my world. Ludwig Wittgenstein. Post by, Heisenberg. Sorry, was out harping icebergs. You know how I roll with my face and all. Post by, Hassan Isabar. That really sucks, Priscilla. Just try to keep positive and don't take any BS from anyone. Stand your ground. We look forward to having you back out. Hopefully, your shard should have arrived by then. Peace. Drug misuse is not a disease, it's a decision. Like the decision to stand in front of a moving car. Philip K. Dick. Post by, Pinkman. 3 weeks? That's way too long. I ordered from him last Monday and received it this past Monday, and from his post here last weekend he said he was heading out to Aussie in a few weeks. He's also still taking orders, so you should try and contact him about a missing order from 3 weeks ago. I would at least. Post by, fried rice. Always more value when you snort, but it does burn even enough to make baby Jesus cry. But however smoking it is so moorish, I do enjoy the whole process, trying to get it to roll up the sides of the glass to get maximum smoke just when you want to. The company's special is very tempting, but it's always hard to buy when there is no feedback. I was surprised by their picture. You think that they would try and only show nice chunky shards and not all the powdery crap that looks like MSM. Maybe it's their way of being honest, so you don't expect perfect shards. Post by, cacaoeths. I ordered from Twok on the 5th, was marked in transit on the 8th, and still have no joy. I politely messaged him after waiting 7 days, per the info on his vendor page, a few days ago, and have yet to receive a response. I don't suppose blowing up his inbox will accomplish anything, so I just sit here waiting. I'm not exactly pissed, but it is frustrating to have something marked as shipped, when it obviously hasn't been, and it's aggravating to not even be able to message the vendor to remind him that I must have gotten lost amongst the pile of other orders he had. This is what I've mentioned in other threads: when a vendor gets too busy to respond to legitimate messages, perhaps they should scale back a bit. I rarely message a vendor, but when I do, it's because there is a legitimate concern. What's the alternative? Take it to resolution when a simple response would clear things up immediately? Shit. I don't want to do that, but what other option is there? Communication is important, and it's a two-way street. Edit, Professor got back to me just a little while ago, and for whatever reason, my order never got shipped. He was very courteous and apologetic, and was willing to make it right any number of different ways, so I'm sure it will all work out just fine. I never thought that it wouldn't. It's just frustrating to have to sit here feeling like your hands are tied, not knowing what's up. Now that I do, no worries at all. Post by, Hassan Sabar. Yeah, as soon as I got wind that he was going to AUS, I fired him off a PM, but it was too late. I live way up here in the Canadian Arctic, and mail from the US isn't always the fastest. I just received an express package from the US yesterday, and it took 5 whole days to get here. That postage cost about $27. Bucks too. Canada Post is notoriously slow. I have been in contact with Dr. Twok, and he's earned my trust, and I know he'll reship upon his return. He'll probably even give me a little extra for the delay. I described my situation in his customer feedback section. Until it arrives, I am ordering from the domestic vendor MIMM. He's fast, and his product is exceptional. Hopefully it arrives tomorrow. I'll probably keep him as my primary vendor. Meth is essential to my traditional way of life, which consists of hunting caribou, wrestling polar bears, bitch-slapping seals, pimping out skidoos, and keeping all these bootylicious female Eskimos warm. In fact, 3 days ago I participated in a 48-hour meth-fueled orgy that generated so much stank and heat that it melted my buddy Nanook's igloo. He was pretty ticked, so I gave him a gram of Afghan heroin pebbles. He's been on the nod since yesterday at noon. I am no doctor, but I think he might be dead. Okay. Enough personal information. I have a fucking polar bear gnawing on my head. Later, white computer guy. Post by, the company. New chunky shards and with new pics. Thanks for the feedback, fried rice. New pics up. See. The company. Post by, Pinkman. Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same when I saw the original posting come up. Nice ad, good vendor page that doesn't require FE, but really shitty picture which made me hesitate. I'll have to check it out again. How long's the sale on for? Post by, Pinkman. Damn, that is cool. Not that I could handle such frigid temperatures, but have to wonder how you managed to survive in such an isolated, low-population environment doing all those things before the days of SR. Post by, fried rice. Didn't mean for you to go and change your pictures, at least it's an honest photo. But just like any business, the better your produce looks, the more people will hopefully buy. So how long is your special on for? I'm tempted but just always hesitant about new sellers. Nice to see more competition, there can never be too much meth. Post by, fried rice. You might want to put the shards on some paper with the company written, so you can prove they are your shards and not just a photo you googled. Just across the T's and dot the I's. Get in closer to put in an order in, 9.99 is just too good to pass up mmmmmmeth. Post by, the company. No, it's fine, we originally put that pick up as that's one of the only picks we had at the time of the posting. It's all we had representative of a recent batch. Now that we have new stock on hand, we plan to put more picks up. We already switched that one out as we too felt it wasn't the best depiction for our fine wares. The pick was snapped during retail bagging. That is one huge glass shard that is broken down. See. The company. Post by, Harpua 25. Well, Heisenberg has ceased communications again. I'm supposed to have a package from him waiting for me when I get home for lunch today. If it's not, everyone should be prepared for a meltdown of epic proportions. Post by, Synergicity. I have faith, Heisenberg will make it right. Here's hoping today is the day, Harpua. Mine is supposed to be in the mail too, but didn't say anything about speedy mail. I have another unrelated to Heisenberg question. So say you have some meth that, when melted, bright white. Chunks remain solid, and they stay bright white the whole time until I really torch them to see what they will do, and they finally just burn into a black dot on my glass. The bag looks pretty homogeneous, and wasn't too shaky, it's almost like the white chunks were in the crystals. Have you seen that before? I never have, but it's been 20 or so years since I have bought meth anywhere but here and have always insufflated in the past. I have messaged the vendor, but haven't heard back yet. Definitely want to give him an opportunity before I say anything about that. Past purchases have been extremely excellent. I guess I am curious if it could be a bad cook, maybe with ephedrine left in it, if that's possible. Clearly I am no chemist, or if it's cut, my assumption. Thanks. P.S. I miss Priscilla already. Hope she's okay. Post by, Cacaoths. Hell, he just messaged me out of the blue late last night in reference to some BTH I'd asked about a while back. I think it's all gonna work out fine, just let him do his thing the way he does it. I know it's frustrating. Post by, Harpua 25. Yeah, about a third of the way through your post I was thinking that sounds like a question for Priscilla. I don't really know what it could be. I consider myself an expert on doing meth. But I'm not much of an expert on the chemistry manufacturing of it. I'm sure somebody will come along who can answer your question though. And due to special circumstances, Heisenberg agreed to do something that he's, rightfully so, always been reluctant to do. If he followed through, he will have regained my complete trust and reclaimed his spot atop my list of the best of vendors ever. If he didn't follow through, though, I'm gonna be one irate meth aficionado. I won't be able to resist keeping everyone posted one way or the other, so look for an update in about 1.5 hours. Post by, Synergicity. He's going to come through for you, I know it, he loves you. Thanks for at least looking at my question, Harpua. One of the brilliant minds of the road will hopefully pass through and tell me what it is. Heisenberg is much like a fine wine. Definitely partake and appreciate when you have the proper amount of time and a peaceful state of mind. Go get a jug of wine if you're in a hurry. Post by, Harpua 25. Well, I somehow missed this post until just now. It makes me feel a little more confident that he did in fact do the harpooing he agreed to do. And you know the love is mutual, Heisenberg. It's just that sometimes the people who you love the most are the ones who hurt you the most. Post by, Harpua 25. Heisenberg came through in a big way, of course, and now I feel like a dick forever doubting him. Sorry man. I should have known better than to doubt you. Post by, Pakhang. I got my order from Crystal Wife today. 1 day shipping domestic. Best packaging I've ever seen, really made me smile. Inside is a plastic baggie inside of a vacuum-sealed tin-foil bag. Best of all, it came with a huge present. Amazing. This is actually one of the friendliest vendors I ever communicated with. You might have noticed he had no product for a while. Even during this time he always replied to my nagging questions in less than a day. I tried a small 20 milligrams pile and it's strong. Can't try more now as I have to sleep tonight. After being raped by Noriega, it feels so good to actually receive something in the mail again. Post by Antediluvian. Boss Hog, good fast shipping. I dislike no PGP, but otherwise, fast, stealth, a tad overweight and legit product. Will repeat but still nervous with no PGP. Post by Guri Dog. Getting vexed now as my ting from Dub G has still not arrived. It was marked in transit 3 weeks ago this coming Monday to the UK. Was a I'm hoping it would be here for this weekend. It may come tomorrow as we do get Saturday post here. It is in resolution now and he has not read my 2 messages I've sent in the last 5 days. I am sure it's just being slow in the post, but I am sure it isn't normally this long between the US and the UK. Post by Vortex Milkman. Oh no, really? Dub G? The great Dub G has product taking 3 weeks to the UK? Maybe Dub G is really VMM. Oh no, only VMM scams people and orders take long, right? Man, oh, I don't give a fuck no more. Now that I am suspended again, I actually feel free, stress-free, relaxed and not pressured by you cunts any longer. I was breaking my back to sell shit to generate profit to be able to afford enough product for all the remaining customers, and when I am not even supposed to be in town right now. Now I will be the guy you all wanted, running off and never looking back. If I wasn't suspended right now, at least 20 grams could be shipped. That's a lot of 0.5 orders and custom orders I owe that needs to be done, but since I can't make back the money for it, fuck it. Even the ESA admins are laughing at you because by banning me ensures none of you get what you are supposed to get. Whoever is the snitch, most likely Ara or Old School, as admins quoted me a London fuckboy complaining about me being able to sell when I still owe purple. I hope you die, snitch. You really have fucked not only yourself over but all others who are waiting. VMM out. Post by Harpua25. Boo fucking who. Maybe if you didn't have a habit of lying your ass off, people wouldn't have been as pissed at you. Post by Digital Dong. I don't know what that junk is, but it's not meth or ephedrine. At least not clean ephedrine. I have cleaned ephedrine before and burned it on foil. It behaves similar to meth. That shit is cut. Just because it is a crystal does not mean it's pure. I would recommend washing that with acetone or just putting a bit of the crystal in some water, minimal amount. And see if there are any water-insoluble impurities. Doesn't disappear in water as meth does. That is if you have a large amount and want to continue smoking it. If you want to get the crystal back, just let the water evaporate and will recrystal. Post by Food This O2. Lol, breaking your back? The only back-breaking Vortex milk scam, trusted vendor, ever did was bending over backwards to give us the high-quality excuses we really needed, and not the meth we thought we wanted. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Hopefully some higher power will iron you out, and you can come back clean and sober and admit your mistakes to all those people you screwed over. Post by Vortex Milkman. Hey, it's not my loss, is it? Fook this and Harpua, instead of thinking like a faggot, for once think about the facts. Who is really losing in the long run? All the people that was about to get glass, as I have been doing in the last month. You all act like no one got anything since April. Lol. Fine, ban me all you want, all this does is prevent me from making amends. And Fook this a higher power ironing me out. Lol, okay buddy. Post by Magilla Cutter Johns. Dub G is 3 weeks out on orders. The great professor is on a long vacation. VMM is fed up and banned again. Looks like the community needs a good meth vendor right now. I wonder who will step up with a quality product and service to match. D. See you all soon. D. Post by, Digital Dong. I'd rather risk a new and upcomer than pay 200 for a gram, maybe it's worth it, you'll never know, can get decent aisle. A little acetone goes a long way. Post by, Digital Dong. Speaking of, anyone ordered from the company yet? Their profile was good for a giggle, but maybe his glass is more serious. Has he even posted in here yet? Post by, Harpua25. The company has posted several times, not sure about in this thread though. I placed an order yesterday and will report back. Post by, Digital Dong. Thanks for taking the plunge. It's pioneers with balls like you that get these vendors off the ground. Hopefully these new guys will keep the price gauging, to no spelling for it, in check. Post by, Jimmy34. Yeah, I followed in your wise footsteps and placed an order with the company as well. I'll be reporting back also. Great people to deal with so far, hope we have a new trustworthy, timely meth vendor. I'm too damn impatient and don't re-up when I should. If this one comes through okay, I will be grabbing a few more immediately. Post by, Synergicity. Digital Dong, thanks a bunch for taking the time to respond. I know I shouldn't, but I am still working my way through it. It's just a little bag, not much worth cleaning. I am curious as hell to know what it is though, hoping the vendor has spotted it prior and figured it out. Who knows? Back to the drama, sorry to interrupt. Post by, Pare. That was really fucking stupid. You owe us money, product. It is not our fault that you fuck up your operation, and it is not SR's fault either. You deserve to be banned after all your fuck-ups and you know it. You are a stupid fucking idiot. And you are clearly way too hooked on meth to be able to sell. Ever heard about don't get high on your own supply? Even if you tried with your 20 grams you are still a cunt in my eyes. Post by, Pare. If you can offer normal prices maybe you are a candidate. But as for now, you are not. Title, last post. Post by, Pare. 3 posts in a row. Sorry for that guys. I just want you to know that Sniffers from Finland is not selling methamphetamine, it is regular amphetamine, but the vendor does not seem to understand the difference. Silk Road staff is aware of this, all reviews and posts on this forum says that it is clearly not meth, it is amphetamine. Just a heads up. Cheers. Pare. Post by, Hassan Isabar. Wow dude, such candor from an asshole is rare. Okay. I can understand your frustration with some buyers whose only error was to expect to get what they paid for and might have alerted SR admin, which was entirely within their right to do so, but that man off shit was the biggest douche exit from the vendor scene since the Tony 76 scam. You are basically laughing at all the decent people who believed in you despite your erratic behavior and your countless woe is me bullshit. Seriously, man the fuck up. If you were so overwhelmed you could have taken down your postings for a while and just let the buyers know that you were having some problems. I am glad I went with my intuition and never ordered from you. Insulting your customers as you disappear with their cash and product is just adding insult to injury. That is some truly weak punk ass shit. You just put that last nail in your own coffin. Not that I give a flying fuck what happens to you after this lame display, but you might just want to lay off the pipe for a bit. I will be opening a new thread about the latest trusted vendor turned douchebag and encourage anyone who is out to vent. Drug misuse is not a disease, it's a decision. Like the decision to stand in front of a moving car. Philip K. Dick. Post by, Thelis Remnant. Fuck man, there is so much bullshit going on these forums lately, there are so many douchebag junkies out here just causing drama and talking shit. Can't we all just act civilized for one day? Is there anybody out here with some standards and morals? What happened to the business of drug dealing? Both the vendor and consumer can win when dealing on SR, we just gotta talk it out and I guess gotta stop being greedy. I feel like there is only really 10% vendors here who are actually good businessmen. These are the ones that have been selling for a long time, not having to change their name and start over, etc. These are the guys to trust. There are only a couple of long-time sellers here on ESA to my knowledge. Where is the love? Let's all get high and rich together. Post by, Harpua25. Plus 100 Hussein. Post by, Fried Rice. Hey VMM, hope you get your seller account up again. It's Sue when shit just won't go right. I made an order 'cause I could see you were trying to get back on your feet, and if someone doesn't help then another good product dish appears from the ESA shelf. Post by, Vortex Milkman. Shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck. My terms are simple. I get my seller status back. People who still are owed product will get their shit. If I don't get my seller status back, then the joke's on you all. I am done explaining myself. You don't know my situation, and it's funny anyone insinuates I use meth in the first place. I don't care if you think I shoot heroin between my toes and was the worst vendor. Your words do nothing to getting your money back. So unless I get my seller status back, yes, ha ha ha. You complained so much you basically ruined any chances of you getting a shit, if at all now. I don't give a shit what any of you think of what went down. It went down, shit happened, and I tried to make good. A bunch of people did receive, but all I hear is of the people I can't fulfill. I don't give a fuck no more. This thread is for laughs now. I am out, gonna take a long deserved vacation. Peace you miserable junkies. Post by, Pinkman. I actually feel bad for him. Course that's easy for me to say, not being a customer that never received product from him, but he does seem to have a point. If his true intention was to rip everyone off, he wouldn't bother making good on just some orders, and having his account suspended means no orders can be fulfilled. I can understand being frustrated enough to go on a apoplectic rant, even if some of what he said was unjustified. What I'm more interested in is whether the company has anything to do with VMM, as some have speculated. Post by, Vortex Milkman. Thanks Pinkman. To address your concerns, VMM exposed. I am Dub G, I am Vroom Vroom, I am Crystal Wife, I am Jones, Sawmilk, Heisenberg, and Harpua25. I am the devil himself. Post by, Harpua25. I sure as hell hope not. Post by, Vortex Milkman. A quick look on the meth vendors board and I laugh at these newcomers trying to fill in the void I left. Don't dare insult me and think I am anything other than ME. I will fight for this name till the death. Post by, Jimmy34. No, there is no connection at all. 5 minutes ago I got word and physical proof. You can go ahead and order those 9.99.5 Gs. I have no clout and I'm just a newbie I guess, but tomorrow about noon when I report back and am ordering my second and third, you'll be glad you did. I wouldn't laugh too soon either. One newcomer is on their game and it's only day 2. For M. Your good Harpua. Post by, Hassan Isabar. We've got the building surrounded VMM, so just put the glass dick down and keep your hands where we can see them. Remember kids, users don't lose drugs. Post by, Vortex Milkman. That's all you can reply with Hassan, 'cause you don't know shit about what's happened in April that spawned this incident. I am trying to make good, but I am the bad guy. And funny drug addict buyers are calling a vendor out with the glass dick comments. Makes me crack up, keep 'em coming. Post by, Cacawaths. To be fair, VMM seemed like he was making an honest attempt to make things right. What meth vendors here haven't had problems, ratings tanked, and had to claw their way back to the top? Well, Heisenberg always seems to get things under control before all hell breaks loose, but he's the exception. VMM, you do realize that you have one hell of a temper, right? I see a lot of truth in many of your comments, but when you come across like a hothead, which you've admitted to being in the past, that truth gets eclipsed by the rage, and ends up working against you. I don't think you're a scammer. If you were, you would have cashed out and hauled ass a long time ago. Instead you tried to stick it out and make amends the best you could, which was an admirable thing to do. There were a lot of people hating on you pretty severely, so you must have a lot of pride and integrity. It's just getting lost in all the frustration and anger. My experience with you was great, 5/5 all the way. I hate to see you go like this, especially in light of the fact that you seem to be working your ass off to get back on top. I was actually rooting for you because you were almost there. I'll probably catch a lot of flack for saying so, but whatever. It's just my opinion, and I'm not implying that the people who have been waiting for long periods of time on orders they paid for should not be pissed, but I do notice a level of anger in the meth forum that seems to not exist in any of the other forums. I'm always far more bummed out over my H not arriving than my crystal. Post by Vortex Milkman. Thank you cacaoeths. These words were exactly what I needed. From here on out, here is the plan. I will be working behind the scenes locally and doing what I can, from helping old ladies walk across the street for a mere fee of 3 Bitcoin, to babysitting the next door neighbor's annoying kid for a bargain price of 10 Bitcoin HR. With these efforts, I should be able to still bounce back even though this recent suspension sets me back light years again. If I do indeed get my seller status back, then everyone pending waiting for their gift still can expect to get their stuff 10x faster than at the current mode of suspension. At any rate, I will make good, but keeping me suspended slows me down even further and sets back what would have been and already was a great return. V. Post by Orchid and Loaf. Lol Hassan, you are one funny mofo, your writing cracks me up. I kind of feel bad for Vortex now. It seems like he regrets getting into this mess and wants to make good on his name. If you truly want to be a good vendor, I wish you the best. Post by Harpua25. When I said Heisenberg came through in a big way, I meant in a big way. Post by Fried Rice. I'm just wondering how many more pages can be written about VMM. It just shows how many people pay attention to him and give a shit one way or another. Hey Orchid and Loaf, just wondering, are you really into orchids? Not trying to take the piss, just wondering. Post by The Company. We have some splendid news to share amongst the Silk Road world. Okay, now you guys can officially fall in love with us. After being here on the road for barely 48 hours with our high-grade methamphetamine and receiving favorable responses. Now we are offering drumroll. High-quality fire black tar heroin. Aroma, effects, consistency, texture. It's all there. This devil's licorice is renowned as a potent and dreamy batch. Connoisseurs will love this product. As per all our products, we got it for cheap. We offer the lowest prices on the road. Cheapest and highest quality crystal meth. Cheapest and best BTH. 24/7 communication and fast, safe and stealth shipping. Only 15 Bitcoin for a half gram. Pinch yourself, you aren't dreaming. The Company. Post by Just for Drugs 2122. Holy shit Harpua, you are one lucky man. Biggest single shot I've seen ND touched was an 8-ball, pretty impressive. Post by Fried Rice. Fucking huge. As they say. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Post by Harpua25. Way ahead of ya. Post by Fried Rice. I'm just jealous now, have fun smashing that baby up, it kinda it's so cool to see such a huge chunk, it passed a shard. But from here on in it's only gonna get smaller. Enjoy. Post by Paray. You're not even close to any of those vendors. You had your chances. You lost everything after your last few posts. Disgusting. Paray. Post by Pinkman. Holy fucking shit. What is the weight on that? Post by Gooey Dog. Well actually VMM, the mail brought me joy today from WG as I was really hoping it would. Seems like WG comes through, dude. I never did think WG was scamming me or anyone, so don't know why you said that. There is surely a reason why his vendor ratings and feedback are some of the best on road. Just got to test the ting, but it looks beautiful. Thanks WG. Edit, FUCKKKK. I thought the bag looked big, but when I weighed this shit it is double what I ordered, 2G. Instead of 1G, and got a happy birthday message from him too. Fucking 10 out of 10 for the bartman that is WG. He has exponentially exceeded my expectations as this stuff is not cheap and he has more than made up for the slight delay in post. Amazed. In fact, I might as well rack up a little rail on it. I'll post a review here in a little while on the effects and quality, though it's my first time using it, but I can give my opinion at least. Can't smoke any yet, but I can now. Order my pipe from Clearwhip, seeing as the goodie bag has landed now. Post by Harpua 25. At its peak it was about 2.5 G. Post by Cacaoeths. If you can maintain a steady supply of those two products, particularly the tar, ship promptly and securely, keep your prices reasonable, and remain stable without suffering from vendor implosion, then I will never again require the services of another vendor. Oh yeah, I'll also need you to respond, in a reasonable amount of time, when I actually have a legitimate question, which is rarely. The Devil's Licorice sounds positively delightful, by the way. When I reload coin to my ESA account next week, I'll definitely be coming to see you boys. Post by Jimmy 34. The company, partial review, will update. Order placed Friday morning at 1:30 a.m., received the order 5 minutes ago, which would be 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Communication has been amazing and these guys are friendly. Product well packaged, very stealthy, very impressed. Your pissed off wife could open it and wouldn't have a clue. The crystal itself is just that, all crystal clear, looks like it was a shard that had a lot of mail stacked on it. All pieces are about the same size. IDK cut your whole pinky nail into 4 and each piece is the size of one. There's more than 4 pieces though, that was a stupid analogy, sorry. But again it is all crystal clear, no powder whatsoever, not even close. So far very impressed. My ROA is in sufflation, so that may tarnish my review for some, but I'll make an exception this time for the sake of these great guys and smoke a bit. I'll be back with my take on quality. Looks great. Post by Pare. Everyone gets the happy birthday. Happy for you, Goo, enjoy. Post by Magilla Cutter Johns. I'm doing it. And doing it. And doing it well. D. What have you been doing? Besides hating and trolling. What happened here? This forum used to be more informative and helpful. Now it's just a big cluster FBOMB of trolls and haters. Quick to kick a guy down and not give a fair chance to I sure hope the nonsense gets down to a minimum and the quality of useful information goes way up. Someone please post something that is relevant and not hate-filled or have troll-like qualities. Post by Torn. Poop. Post by Harpua 25. Ha. At least it wasn't hate-filled. Depending on what the pooper in question ate recently, I guess. Post by Cacaoeths. See, it's like this. We who frequent this forum are meth users. Meth keeps us awake for long periods of time. Long periods of time without sleep leads to paranoia and unease. Prolonged periods of paranoia and unease morph into feelings of anger and rage. Eventually the rage boils over and all hell breaks loose. Post by Hossan Bar. Butterflies, ponies, and sparkles. On a serious note, I sure wish I had some shard right about now. Hopefully my order from MIMM will arrive on Monday. Drug misuse is not a disease, it's a decision. Like the decision to stand in front of a moving car. Philip K. Dick. Post by Gurry Dog. Oh, I say eerie. Lol ahhhhhh, and I thought I was special. Haha, well, who knows why I got what I did, but I am really buzzing. Dub G's stuff is a mixture of small crushed bits of crystal, not powder, and also some bigger shards that are clear in consistency, and I have railed about 150 milligrams in 3 lines and I'm feeling nice now. I don't have any reference to gauge the quality, but I gotta say I'm really keen to get a shard in the pipe. Just putting in an order for 5 pipes from the US, $1.69 each. Great price. I like this shit so far. I like the buzz. It is a bit milder than I was expecting though. But maybe this is because I am snorting it, started on low dose and lose a lot of the bioavailability with this ROA. I'm not gonna plug it as someone mentioned to me before. Haha, I'll just wait for my pipes to arrive. Post by Synergicity. Copy-paste of my review from the company's thread. My review of the company's meth is a little different than Jimmy's, but same results, and crazy fast shipping. Good stuff. First off, my bag was very powdery, broken down crystally, not much at all in the way of shards. Which, if the product is good, doesn't matter a bit to me. In fact, really, if I am going to insufflate, which I need to do more often and save my quantity a little bit, I lose a whole lot less flinging off the plate while chopping if it's already broken down. Somewhat. So anyway, this is. I insufflated a little bit at first without doing any chopping at all. I put a little pile into the pipe next, and it melted beautifully, and the first hit burning off cut didn't taste too terrible at all. The rest of the pipe smoked well, stayed pretty light colored, but I haven't mastered the art of smoking yet, so I usually get mine a little browner than I should anyway, but it did what it was supposed to do. Professor Twack's meth burns up super fast as opposed to Vroom's meth, which lasted in the pipe a little longer. What that means I don't know. I get great results from both. I would say the company's meth was right around the middle. I got a little bit more out of the pipe than I have been recently, and for me, that's a good thing. I really like the act of smoking too. Much. Let's blame Priscilla since she's not here. I didn't weigh it before I had done the above. Family here, time and space at a premium, but I found time afterwards and weight was 0.47. I am sure it was a decent little bit overweight. We're having a giant day of outdoor work today with extended family. Aren't you jealous? And I really worked my butt off without feeling weak or fucked up, but felt really great. I did have a good breakfast this morning, which is unusual for me. Shipping was unbelievably fast. Honestly, it got here 2 days before I thought it would, before mail regularly would get here. Quicker than mail 300 miles from me gets here. I am halfway across the US from the company. I live in a really slow mail zone. I think the company must have a friend at the USPS, truly, or they have ESP and knew I was going to order and where to send. Highly unusually, my husband got the mail today and he didn't suspect a thing, and he knows about ESA and what packages might look like. Thanks much to the company, I appreciate it a ton and will be back soon, I'm sure. Post by Digital Dong. At Synergicity for the post. I am glad you had a good experience. By the way, you're scaring me talking about pieces of shard flying about. Put a license over it and crush it, or wrap up in some paper and crush it with a lighter. Brought back memories of when I would cut it with a knife and some pieces go flying. It is very interesting about those shipping times. I hope you did your homework. The company you are about to have an onslaught of orders soon. Be prepared, the massive influx brings many vendors to their knees. Glad to see another vendor doing good quality business in the glass game. Post by Synergicity. Thanks Digital Dong. I try to chop the right way, but it still always seems that I see pieces flying. Maybe just tripping. Post by Fried Rice. Just keep it in the baggie and crush it with a lighter. You will wreck that baggie, so make sure you got a spare one to pop it into, and obviously don't just completely wreck the bag so you got plastic in your gear. So did you have breakfast before or after you smoked? Post by Digital Dong. Just don't get too tweaked out and go digging on the floor for pieces afterwards. I've been there before, it's not a pretty sight. Post by Fried Rice. If you are flying real high, just wear all black and put a black sheet on the floor, then you will see every speck that might fly. I'm sure someone after about 10 pipes will think this is a great idea and will spend an hour looking through their cupboards looking for the perfect black sheet and clothes. Post by Digital Dong. Oh my god, don't give me or other tweakers ideas. Lol. Post by Subtlety. Haha, brilliant. +1 buddy. In all seriousness, I found a big chunk on my carpet once. It was fucking white beige carpet too. Full disclosure, years of meth use and this happened once. As much as I know I won't find dope on my floor, doesn't stop me from looking for days in when everything is shiny and I can hear those shadows behind my furniture. Ha ha ha, fuck the haters, this shit is a way of life. Get mad shit done till you're incapable of doing anything. Post by, Space Ghost. So I placed an order for some ice pills through Fanny Hill. Got an PM saying that because of quality issues my order had been cancelled, but I would be receiving something else in its place free of charge, which is awesome. Used my refund to order from the company. It's Saturday, so I'm not expecting anything to change until at least Monday. Looking forward to trying product, and much respect to Fanny Hill for handling the situation in a very professional manner. Gotta say, today was a good day. Post by, Poisoned Destiny. Oh my god, this discussion made me laugh. I used to do the same thing by day 2 or 3. My favorite place was looking at curbs while driving, really bad. Do not try at home. I stared at every shiny pebble, looking for road meth apparently. Then one day, I get out of my car at a tweaker guy's house. It's been 32 hours. I look down at the curb, and bam! There is a little baggie with about a quarter gram in it. I actually screamed. I really didn't want to find that. I knew it would make the tweaker complex worse. Destiny. Post by, Synergicity. Before and after the old, with white and melted chunks, what the fuck is that, anyone? And before the new, the company. Is that bad? I mentioned I had a bunch of family at our house visiting, didn't I? Lol, it is bad, isn't it? And y'all are killing me with your black sheets and shards flying. I have tile floors in my closet, where I usually do my dirty deeds, and I know I am going to sweep that bad boy one day and gather up a gram. If I tell my cleaning lady to quit sweeping my closet, that is. My daughter has black sheets on her bed and it's about time for a new set for her. Post by, Subtlety. Whore. Definitely done the road meth thing, out the corner of your eye doing fucking 60 down the highway, a shiny thing and it's gotta be a crystal some fucker lost. Let's go back and investigate, what else we got to do fuckers, besides everything we're already doing, which is a bunch of shit anyway. Tweakers get the best of life, everything random and senseless and endless cause we never fucking sleep. We get twice the spice of life for only 2/3 the cost. It's like God gave man chemistry cause he fucking knew that's where that shit is at. Post by, Hassan Isabar. I recall seeing this behavior with crackheads before, down on their knees, plumbers butt to the ceiling, looking for that little piece that might have fallen. They did that shit for hours, it's like television for them. Now that I am doing shard, I don't go through the same ritual. BC the obsessive compulsive side of me brought out by the old bubble pipe makes sure that nothing is ever lost and that everything is accounted for. In the mind of the meth head, the trains always run on time. Drug misuse is not a disease, it's a decision. Like the decision to stand in front of a moving car. Philip K. Dick. Post by, Paray. Best idea ever. Thanks. DD. Haha, +10. Cheers. Post by, Food This. I know how and who got your account banned, chill. You're pissed. I get it. Now you get why the 5% handed you the rope that ultimately lead to your demise. You might be the Bardus and bumfuck, TX, but this is not home, here, words are your weapons. And, I say this without malice, but you're not a black belt in basic English. Ride the wave, keep your fingers off the keyboard, and just let us help you. Post by, RR. I've got a meth test platter on the way. 1/2 off Crystal Wife, his last batch was lovely and new batch looks even better. 1/2 off the company, hearing great things about quality and speed of shipping. And a tester off Afghan Apothecary. Haha, can't wait for the post to start moving after the weekend again. Post by, Synergicity. Hubby and I took a road trip about 10 years ago, moving across country, I think, and tweaked the whole way, drove straight through. I will never do that again. We hallucinated and saw more shit on the side of the road through the middle of the night, it was scary. We both still talk about how scary that trip was. And probably a big reason why I won't tell him I'm tweaking these days. Tweaking and driving, not a good thing. Post by, RR. Haha, I know what you mean about hallucinating. I've seen some crazy shit on meth, Like monkeys running round my tree in the garden lol I think it's funny seeing shit that ain't there. Post by, Digital Dong. When I start hallucinating and tweaking hard usually I feel the safest place for me is driving, I know silly huh, I always feel like someone is just gonna bust the door down at home, so I'll go out for a drive. I know it's not smart, at least when you're driving you can see everything around you. I have seen the monkey people before, they were up in the trees one night and kept throwing acorns on the house, this shit was really making me annoyed. So I went outside but they wouldn't come out to where I could actually see them, I just knew that they were there and they were leading me somewhere. At 2 a.m., it appeared that they lead me about 2 blocks away to a neighbor's house, they wanted me to go in, and why the hell was I even considering this? It's absurd I know, I never went in thank God, I would have been killed for sure, lol, that's def in the top 3 of the silliest shit that's happened to me. Post by, Hassan Isabar. I dunno, the U.S. Air Force gives their long-distance pilots amphetamine, I'm sure they wouldn't do that if they thought there was great risk involved. Drug misuse is not a disease it's a decision. Like the decision to stand in front of a moving car. Philip K. Dick. Post by, Synergicity. It is definitely not for me, not after a bunch of hours of it and in the middle of the night, anyway. These days I am a daytime tweaker anyway. My how times change. Post by, You Will Never Know. This is by FAR the most reliable, communicative, friendly meth vendor I've dealt with thus far. Let's forget about product quality for a second. McGillicuddy went way out of his way to make sure my gear got out before the overnight deadline when I was in a real pinch. This guy answered every question I had promptly, and without a short-ass answer. I had my tracking info within a few hours of ordering. In short, you are not going to find a meth vendor as of 5/20 that you can count on. He was more than good to me. Now, back to the product, for one the bag was overweight which is more than appreciated. It was obvious that he purposely tries to make sure that he tries to make sure you get shards and not like broken glass. The quality was out of this world. I got 2 big chunks and the rest is sizable chunks. There was definitely no fine powder in this bag. I'm so glad that I took the plunge and spent an extra few bucks to get my product on time, constant updates, and dependability that can't be matched. I like things to go according to plan so that you don't have to send extra, or upgrade to make up for all the headache. If you want to save your Tylenol to avoid that inevitable headache, this is where you need to be shopping. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Thanks so much for everything, McGillicuddy Johns. Post by, Jimmy34. From the company review. Very sorry I did not get back before Sin to write the Grisham quality review he did, very well written. And we're at least 1800 miles apart in one direction or the other so you're up pretty quick. About 34 hours from order to delivery and several states in between. Again I apologize for not sitting behind my computer screen anxious to write a review on the quality, you got it and it's accurate. I have a collapsed lung and 6 broken ribs from getting pinned and rammed by the meanest 2,500 pounds bull on our farm. I was more interested in doing a line followed by sucking on a Fentora pop watching American Dad on Hulu Plus. My bad. You all are fiesty. And now I messaged last night and ask what's up, can I get a gram or 2 sent out Monday for the TB tests I have to give 400 of our beef cows, in front of a state vet with my busted ribs. I could use the fuel, badly. Nope, we're out, no loyalty for those that take the dive head first. Tell me I'm selfish. Post by, fried rice. Sounds awesome. Do you serve your platter with cough and have tiny tongs to pick up the shards? I'm jealous, I want a meth platter. So is Afghan Apothy getting into meth? You will never know what was McGillicuddy's packaging like. Is it top notch for OS Deleve just cause his smallest is 8 balls? I prefer to order just 2 for safety, where I am the laws are tight. Post by, Digital Dong. I hear you're there, the shadow people don't like to come out in the daytime tongue face. Post by Hassan Isabar. Much respect to a vendor who isn't going to knowingly sell you shit. I wish more of those European speed paste dealers would step up and do the same, stop selling dry toothpaste mixed with 30% caffeine. I came across a review somewhere online, maybe Pill Report, a few days ago which mentioned the declining quality of those ice pills. When they first came out they were high quality, but a lot of those pills now are just imitators. Consequently, Peep's been complaining about chest pain, headaches, etc. I think trying out the company's crystal is a good bet. Let us know how that one goes. Drug misuse is not a disease, it's a decision. Like the decision to stand in front of a moving car. Philip K. Dick. Post by Fried Rice. Are there any decent reviews on Crystal Wife's meth? Is it good? Is the packaging stealth? I want to do an order, but I notice with a few of the last feedbacks there are a few non-arrivals of packages. I need to know their package can make it overseas. It doesn't look like they are moving many solar panels either. I think trying to mix working with electricity and drugs is a bad mix. I forget what I'm talking about when I'm flying, let alone trying to remember to turn the power off before hooking up my solar cells. They might be good to rack up on though they are black. We'll be interested to see if the company is going to keep the same price when they put some product up again. Post by Hassan Isabar. Weird, it appears that the company has pulled its listings despite only having them up for no more than 4 days. Are they out of crystal and tar already? I guess that just goes to show the power of supply and demand. Remember kids, users don't lose drugs. Post by Fried Rice. Yeah, they said somewhere that they only had a small amount just to test the waters and it's gone. It's a bit weird because they made themselves sound like this massive drug courier company which transports to everywhere. I suppose we will see what the future holds very soon as people start getting their gear. There is hardly any methane delta Nessa at the moment. Marijuana Muse has pulled their listings, haven't checked their other listings, only 13 items to pick from. Maybe 12. Does Sawmill count as a vendor? What's up with that cat? No descriptions on items, just strange. Post by Harpua25. Just noticed that Vroom Vroom had posted an update and thought I'd share it. Post by Hassan Isabar. Yeah, the company presented itself as an infinite Walmart of meth. Their prices are just so damn good. Ooh, I didn't even have the chance to buy a small sample. Oh well. You snooze, you lose. As they say in these parts. MIMM appears to have taken the long weekend off. Canada is still a monarchy and Monday is Victoria's Day. Good for him. It's healthy to chill now and then. Unfortunately for me, I guess this means Tuesday might be the earliest chance I get some shard. Remember kids, users don't lose drugs. Post by Pakhang. Well, I wrote a review about CW a few posts earlier. Great stealth packaging, good quality, etc. Just read it. The reason for the cluster of non-arrival feedbacks is simple. CW had a huge batch and sold it all out during 4 to 20, was out of product and stopped selling. Everybody got it, was happy and left a good review. The 5 people, probably from overseas, whose order got seized left their feedback later. Then the rest, when they realized it won't arrive. It appears that from 111 transactions, 5 have not arrived, all got 50-65% refund. I think that's okay. Post by RR. I got half a gram coming of the company and it's marked as dispatched now. It will be interesting to see how long delivery takes to the UK. Hopefully it will make it by the weekend. I've also got half coming off Crystal Wife. This will be my 3rd order off CW. The last 2 orders couldn't have gone smoother. CW packaging is some of the best I have seen, and it came to UK within 3 days both times. It recommends CW to anybody and best of all it's really clean meth. Post by Digital Dong. At ABC 123. Welcome back. Your postman called me and said he can't take those boulders to your house anymore. You need to send to Granny or get a PO box. Then tongue face. Do they have post office boxes in ounce? Post by Hassan Isabar. Now DAWG, it's just snafu amongst jib fiends. The shard be a flowing like the rivers of Babylon. May the shard be with you HIS. Post by, Endorphin. It's been a while since I had truly yummy shard. Hey Vortex Milkman. But for a few assholes you turn us all out? Make good on your orders man and we'll stick it out with you. PM those UO orders to with your new SR handle after making good on those orders and you'll keep your customer base. That's what you want, isn't it? Post by, Jimmy34. Fuck the company. Tarnish my name, buyer's name because the option to finalize came up yesterday at 2 p.m. I wasn't here until 11 p.m. or so and fell asleep before finalizing. I am sorry assholes, I start work at 7 a.m. and just got home. I'll do it now but I fucking shouldn't. You fucking threaten my buyer's name, your meth is damn near street crank advertised as A1 ice. Fuck sending me messages like this, I'm pissed, my stats are great, and you threaten me after one day, a day I was working for 12 hours. Here's one. The company subject. Okay, since you wanna be a little child and not pay me for product we ran out and shipped overnight for you. Expect to never be allowed to purchase from us nor anyone else, you've just been added to the banned buyers list on the forum. Keep playing with us 47 seconds unread delete. Post by, Endorphin. Me thinks there's too much good meth around. People, listen to yourselves. Post by, RR. +1 lol. Post by, Jimmy34. That's funny, after chilling out and reading it I think you're right. Total transactions, 13. Total spent, 101.85. Refund rate, 0%. Auto-finalize rate, 0%. Member for, 3 months. My stats by the way, nothing amazing but whatever, good luck the company. Post by, Synergicity. Zerd, thank you. I had pretty much decided it was some kind of salt, as it really didn't melt at all, definitely not MSM. And stayed so white, all the way till I burnt it to the glass, and it took some serious torching. Epsom it sure may well be. It was bizarre and was just something I've never seen before and probably was 30% or so of the bag as it ended up. I messaged the vendor and he is going to reship, and was aware of the problem and thought he had contacted everyone affected, but guess he just missed me. It's all good. Thanks again for the response and the thorough answer. I wish I was more of a chemist. Post by, Just for Drugs 2122. Haha, sounds like a VMM stunt to pull. Ah, I hate that guy. Post by, The Company. Thanks, Jimmy, now we all can see you're bipolar. Your initial review was The Company, partial review, will update. Order placed Friday morning at 1:30 a.m., received the order 15 minutes ago which would be 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Communication has been amazing and these guys are friendly. Product well packaged, very stealthy, very impressed. Your pissed off wife could open it and wouldn't have a clue. The crystal itself is just that, all crystal clear, looks like it was a shard that had a lot of mail stacked on it. All pieces are about the same size. IDK cut your whole pinky nail into 4 and each piece is the size of one, there's more than 4 pieces though, that was a stupid analogy, sorry. But again it is all crystal clear, no powder whatsoever, not even close. So far very impressed, my ROA is insufflation so that may tarnish my review for some, but I'll make an exception this time for the sake of these great guys and smoke a bit. I'll be back with my take on quality, looks great. Now you're mad because you were holding our escrow hostage, and read every message we sent you over the weekend but couldn't hit the finalize button? THNAKS for making up lies after we shipped out an overnight product you admitted to me in PM messages and on the forum as quoted above. So now your word means nothing as you flip-flopped in public and your review is meaningless when you publicly display that you lied or are contradicting yourself. People will question every review of yours now. See The Company. Post by, Hassan Isabar. I've had the great misfortune of having had some motherfucker out on the street sell me a $100 bag of Epsom salts. It was a 10-second deal with some goof on a little kid's bike, How these items are blingers beyond me. That shit did look convincing, I must say. So, in short, I guess that's why I am here. Post by, the company. Hussein, we love your Mike Tyson quote, lol. Post by, Orchid and Loaf. If you want to know what real ice is, a real whole shard that won't break in transit, and get a pure high that is second to none, there's only one option, Heisenberg. Post by, Fried Rice. I thought the same thing. Post by, the company. Fried Rice, do you have an idea who Jimmy is or the stunt that is, you guys mean? Post by, Just for Drugs 2122. I have a smoke and then eat my breakfast, if you guys know what I mean. H. Post by, the company. J4D, earlier you mentioned something about the stunt, and you hate that guy, care to elaborate? Think Jimmy is someone else you know is intentionally doing this? Post by, RR. Hez talking about Vortex Milkman, he was Silk Road's biggest meth vendor and he had an issue with his business partner robbing him, and he lost loads of meth and couldn't fulfill all the orders he took fast enough, and people complained and got him banned, but to be fair on Vortex he really tried and put 110% effort into fixing the problem and put all his profit into stock to fill orders as he promised. It was a nasty way to exit the road after the effort he made to make right. Moral of the story. He is a good guy who really tried his best to fix the issues and he still got fucked over in the end. And although it was widely reported that he was getting the orders up to date but admin put their foot down and wouldn't help him, shame really. Post by, Harpua25. That certainly is a charitable take on the situation, RR. You seem to have missed the part of the story about him being incapable of telling the truth. Post by, RR. Lol, yeah, I missed that part cause he never lied to me, but I hear he did tell a few lies along the way. Post by, Freight Train. After I stop tweezing hairs from my face I want to slam another quarter, play with my button and stick things in my ass for a few hours. Damn, did I just say that? Oh. And yes, and I want to be able to get more shard from ESA too. So, I would appreciate if all of you pissed off tweakers would stop making it miserable for these sellers. I lost a gram just 2 weeks ago and finalized anyway just to protect my stats. Where else but through ESA can I just go to my PO box and get meth? And most of you wouldn't say this shit if you were face to face with your dealer. Having said that, I think I'll go slam that quarter now and watch some porn, Rosebud. Where the fuck are my batteries? Post by, the company. Batteries? Should we even ask? Lol. Post by, RR. I really don't want to know lol. Post by, Endorphin. Wow. Freight Train, you've got balls. Or maybe not. But I hear you, the rancor on this forum has to stop or I won't be able to go to my mailbox either. I have to admit. I did get a rush from that comment. Don't hurt yourself. Post by, Hassan Sabar. In case of an overdose. Just some friendly advice to fellow drug users, if you ever think there is a chance that you feel like your heart might explode, that you might slip into unconsciousness or in short have what is medically defined as an overdose, pull yourself together, calmly turn off or put away all the porn, hide your drugs and drug paraphernalia, rigs, straws, razor blades, etc., stash the lube, flush those crusty tissues, delete online history, etc., just clean it all up and sanitize yourself and your motherfucking surroundings. These final moments can determine what your entire mortal legacy might be. Have the decency of leaving your poor old mother with fond memories of you, before the drugs, as an innocent child eating vanilla ice cream on the back porch instead of we found him with a big black mamba dildo way up his ass, and with enough drugs to kill a herd of elephants in room number 13 at the Glory Hole Motel in a grim coroner's report. If at all possible, try leaving behind a wholesome, family-oriented digital legacy on your personal computer. Internet searches like saving the Amazon rainforest or the teachings of Jesus Christ are much more preferable and more chick-friendly than what might appear to be detailed documentation of your inevitable decline and a 7-week-long preoccupation with meth vendors and product reviews on a mysterious criminal site called Silk Road or in locating and watching dog-fucker videos. Let's show the world that a drug overdose isn't necessarily associated with a lack of morals or poor hygiene. Drug misuse is not a disease, it's a decision. Like the decision to stand in front of a moving car. Philip K. Dick. Post by Tabanoid. @Hussein. I always stash the needle, lube, and tissues and click to CNN.com when shit gets heavy. A man needs to have some class, right? Sure, everyone will confused as to why my naked, bloodied, and greased body was checking news headlines. Post by Freight Train. Oh my, I created a monster, sorry I mentioned the tweezing. Post by Subtlety. Do you guys fucking crack me up, lol. Between this and filters in transit thread, getting some good laughs on the road tonight. Post by Keto. Quick note to say that I received a generous meth sample from Marijuana Is My Muse, and I have to say that this is some of the best shit I've had. It's been almost 2 weeks since I've last had any, so the effects would be more pronounced admittedly, but it's on par with Dub G's, although Dub G's does seem to last in the pipe a little longer. MJMM's 20 mg rock melted cleanly. I took a hit from the first puff and it tasted nice, no unusual taste, and after about 5 hits melted cleanly with almost no residue. My technique is pretty decent, although I was in a hurry, home for a gentleman's lunch lol. Packaging was great, won't say too much but was happy with it. Thanks a lot MJMM, I'll be coming back to you. Post by Priscilla Marie 90. I received a sample from Marijuana Is My Muse and it's really nice. I wasn't able to use meth for 5 days, so you can imagine my excitement to find it in my mailbox immediately after getting out of jail. 2 or 3 hits and I was spinning. It has a bit of a taste for a while, but overall really good quality. Post by Hassan Isabar. Welcome back Priscilla Marie. Wow, that was fast. Congrats, it's great to have you back. I have to concur with the above sentiments of Marijuana Is My Muse. Woke up this morn with a nice big chunk waiting for me in my mailbox. Put that sucker in a pipe and smoked that bitch up real fine. This is some primo shard, folks. Highly recommended vendor. A ++, although his listings are currently down for some reason. Post by Priscilla Marie 90. Thank you guys. D. Got to do a 2-for-1 or whatever they call it. Was hands down the worst 5 days I've ever lived, though. Next I've got to do 28 days in a fancy schmancy treatment facility, but that will be a breeze. I'm back for now though. I appreciate the support from you all a whole lot. Post by Ajapai. Hey Priscilla, I just wanted to let you know that I donated to a going away fund if that was you fucking sexy from the neck down lol. Post by Hoffer. Welcome home miss. I back that statement up totally. Very nice twirl. Post by Lawnmower. Received 0.2 G from Crystal Wife. Great product, very fast and sensibly priced shipping. It was on weight, according to my shitty Chinese 0.01 G scales, and came in great, slightly humorous packaging. Highly recommended. Post by Jimmy 34. My ROA is insufflation. Meth's a once every 2-week thing by the way, and yeah, I've popped quite a few Valium today. I apologize for losing my temper, the psychotic ramblings aren't really psychotic. It just sucks to jump on here one afternoon and see my buyer's name torn to pieces, when the true story isn't even there to see. Then person after person jumping on the wagon to join in the bashing. Of course everyone bashes me, not the other way around. I don't have product, I'm not a vendor, to kiss ass for. If you're being serious about the above post, thanks, you're very good at being subtly sarcastic, if that makes sense. Post by The Company. Please everyone, leave Jimmy be, it's all good now, everyone makes mistakes and he fixed his, and we apologized for the scene and anger we spew back in retaliation. We're both businessmen who had a communication breakdown over the weekend. All that matters is we're good now and mutual respect is there. Post by, Cacaoeths. +1. The cooler head prevails, especially in the meth forum. Post by, Hassan Isabar. It's so encouraging to see meth dealers and their buyers resolve misunderstandings in such a civilized, polite manner. That is so freaking awesome. Excuse my tears of joy. A match made in heaven. May you both have many years of happiness. I haven't been so moved since the movie The Titanic. Leonardo DiCaprio was so hot. Ponies, rainbows, and sparkles. P.S. I am assuming that nasty review was updated to a 5? Y'all need to hide your kids. Hide your wife, and hide your husband. 'Cause they're raping everybody out here. Antoine Dodson, Huntsville, Alabama. Post by, Sean Clemson. McGillicuddy Jones has great product, excellent response time, great packaging, everything I was looking for. Will definitely do business with him again. Post by, RR. Well done to both of you for sorting your problems out. Post by, Ketel Jigdaxivin. I'm wondering about McGillicuddy Jones's astronomical pricing for an OS dealer. 120 bitcoins including shipping for an 8-ball to Down Under? Either he's not very confident in his shipping methods or the packaging is made out of meth that he provides as a bonus. Anyways, my rant, I'll stick with WG and might do small orders from MJMM to spice it up a bit, if anyone cares lol. Post by, Noodle2420. Brazella meth withdrawals are the worst. Especially when locked up. Sucks but glad you're back. And, my Heisenberg package is in transit. The two most beautiful words in our world. The most beautiful being. Finalize. Never been in a bad mood clicking it. Hope to have a great weekend. D. Peace, Noodle. Post by, RR. I don't get withdrawals from meth, it keeps me up for a night or two then I am back to my weed smoke. Post by, Priscilla Marie 90. Yay, I've never had withdrawal from meth in my life. When I don't have it I crave it every so often, like a cigarette or hotel, but it ain't like I'm curled up in the corner trembling and talking to myself or nothing. Post by, RR. Welcome home Priscilla Marie 90 thought it had been a bit quiet round here, we missed ya. D. Post by, Digital Dong. At Priscilla WB hope it goes well with you these next weeks. How long was the ship times on MIMM? Fast turnaround? Guess that's directed at Hassan too. Post by, Noodle2420. I guess the most annoying part of my withdrawal, after 2G solo for 1 week, was just sweat and fatigue. Sucks when I'm naturally tired but I got the work in an office so I have called in sick. More about wanting to sleep non-stop for 2 days. People start to wonder. Why the hell that boy sleeping in the server room so damn much? /N. Post by, Priscilla Marie 90. I can't say anything about shipping time cause I was in jail when it arrived. It arrived within 1 week from when he said he shipped it though. Post by, Noodle2420. I have used OH many times last fall before he retired for a spell and went on to other vendors. He was awesome and his packaging was the best I've seen. Above vroom vroom. My first package from Hayes I thought I got scammed. It took me about 10 minutes to realize what I had. The vroom vroom shooting star was bright and amazing. I remember deciding on Monday to get some meth and FEDEX it to my the next AM. That was fucking amazing. That might be an idea for some meth vendor. I would pay an extra 70 to 80 for overnight or 2 nights. Be the overnight. Only vendor. N. Post by, Hassan Isabar. This dude has got his game down, no drama, no weird delays, excellent communication, my guess you being stateside and all, order on a Friday and probably get before following Friday. I can't recommend this vendor enough. I did like a 10 milligrams line this morning and my heart is still pumping like a muffo. He got some real fine shard. Recommended a ++. Go for it. So y'all need to hide your kids. Hide your wife, and hide your husband. 'Cause they're raping everybody out here. Antoine Dodson, Huntsville, AL. Post by Hassan Isabar. It's not like a physical withdrawal like heroin, but it exudes a very powerful, seductive, and subtle control over me. I've been a junkie, a cokehead, and doing meth daily for the last year. Gotta say this is the hardest one for me to quit. I guess it's all that dopamine, eh? I actually don't mind running out between orders. BC it just lowers my tolerance and I feel that I get more of a bang for my buck. May the shard be with you, Obi-Wan Von Tweaker. Post by RR. I have been in some states over the years, mainly MDXX, coke, weed, etc., but there was one time in my life when I was 21. I had a great job that earned me a massive wad of cash every week and it led to a downward spiral of crack. Now I have smoked weed since I was 13 years old, and I thought I was addicted to that. Crack was the hardest thing I have ever given up. I could have quit fags easier. Maybe that's why I don't find meth addictive. I have 1 or 2 blowouts every couple of months. I order a 1/2 G and smoke the lot in less than 12 hours, then I just blaze weed like normal all day, and I'm cool, bit tired odiously, and I cough up nasty stuff for a day and then boom, I am okay again. Only thing is one sesh stops me from eating for 4-5 days. Not good 'cause I am small enough. Post by Cacawaths. Meth withdrawal, what? Even after binging for 2 to 3 weeks of spiking it, I'd really just call it sleeping sickness, or extreme fatigue. I usually grow weary of it before then, anyway. Opiate withdrawal, however, is an entirely different beast, with teeth and claws that I truly fear. As a former addict, I still chip fairly often, but dare not go on a run lasting more than about 5 days, a week tops, else I face terrifying consequences. I keep 1 8 mg substrip on hand for rapid induction, rapid taper, just in case I overdo things. Post by Fried Rice. It's always the best thing to snort out problems. The more problems, the more snortings needs to be done. Post by X8MX. Just placed an order with the company. I'll report back with a review once received, which I'm thinking will be early next week. Hope it all goes hassle-free. I'll update everyone in time. Take care, folks. Post by Ketojigdaxivin. When ordering meth and other products of SR, do the images of the vendor's products influence you at all? I know that a vendor can take a pic of the best crystal in their 1 kilogram bag with the rest turning out to be powder, etc., but just curious. If I see crystal that's very opaque, or even white and not see-through at all, I usually stay away, but then I'm not a very experienced meth user buyer, so I might be missing something. Post by Synergicity. Advice? I have a couple days till auto-finalization with Heisenberg. I'm trying to decide whether to finalize or to do resolution. Haven't ever had to do resolution, but I understand I can get an extension of time. Is there any chance that ESA would auto-cancel the order if I did resolution? Also, I don't want to fuck up H's records by FEing. If it would do that, I don't mind fing with H. Anyone know what H would prefer I do? What I should do? I messaged H about it a couple days ago, but haven't gotten an answer. Help? Post by LVLBRAINED. Well, obviously he would rather UFE, as would pretty much every vendor. I would go into resolution and either ask for extension or refund. I've gotten extensions before. Post by Gooey Dog. I just had the same issue dilemma. Incidentally, no one gave me any advice after asking on the forum and asking the vendor with no response, so as soon as I hit resolve on the last day before auto-finalize, the resolution page opens, you enter a little note to say what's up, then asks how many days extension you would like. I entered 7 days. It gave me 5, the package arrived the next day. I finalized, all was good. No bad records. No lost info from FE. Resolution is there for a reason. Hope that helps. Post by Synergicity. Hey, great advice from both of you, thank you. LVLBRAINED, I guess that was a dumb question, lol, thanks for answering it though. Gooey Dog, thanks much for the play-by-play, That's exactly what I needed, but didn't know it. Sorry you didn't get any help. I have the answer for you the next time though. I think I will do what you, both, did. Extension is good. Thank you. Post by, Gary Dog. No worries mate. All good, I just winged it and hope for the best as even on the sticky for the if your package doesn't arrive it doesn't explain if the timer is instantly killed when you go to resolution or how it works and as I was new to the situation of resolution, I didn't know what the process but all worked out for me and glad I could help you out, if in a small way. EZ. Post by, Synergicity. I didn't mean to trample all over your question with mine, sorry about that. As for me, and I don't consider myself a pro either, I don't go by pictures at all. I think I assume they are all faked. So jaded, am I. By the way I got an extremely excellent gram from USDN meth, it was exactly like Zerd described to me the other day, lemony, perfumey, melty and yummy. And man did it ship and get here quick. Thanks again USD. Post by, Gary Dog. I can't comment on any other meth but Dub G's arrived and looked like mini pieces of the picture. Pure glass. Gorgeous little diamonds. Post by, Fried Rice. I smoked meth or speed every day for about 2 years. If it was speed I was on a gram a day, meth really depended on the quality maybe up to 1/2 gram a day. I was at a point where when I wanted to do something I always had to smoke a pipe before I could even think about starting to do it. It was super hard to stop, and not a day goes where you don't think a pipe would be great, but I have stopped for about 2 years mainly cause I could not get quality stuff. I'm just hoping that I can get some quality on SR. Just trying to work out between Crystal Wife and Maria Winner's Muse. Mim's reviews are all over the shop. I would be pissed to get MSM shards, and there is not much I can find on Crystal Wife. Post by, Priscilla Marie 90. Of course do not finalize early. Especially if you are not asked to. Post by, Fried Rice. I thought that was pretty obvious. Just noticed the company has put its ice listings back up. I have some arriving soon from them, I hope it's good cause I will jump straight back on then. Crystal Wife's products have been taken down, so I suppose that sorts that out for me. Post by, Trombond. Hey, has anyone had any success with Professor Twack? I ordered like 2 weeks ago, then he came up with an excuse that he got a bad batch which wasted an entire week, then he said he shipped everyone's orders out, including mine, last Saturday and still no show. I'm starting to think he's a scam artist. Good thing I haven't finalized yet. Post by, Torn. I'm in the same boat. However, for him to be a scam artist, we'd have to have been scammed. I didn't effie nor was I asked to. I've had quality from him before and I've no reason to suspect that he's trying to pull one over on anyone at this point. Post by, Synergicity. Agreed, think PTWAK is just going through a rough spot. I'm waiting on a reship cause I got the really bad stuff, but has always come through. Hang tough. Welcome back Priscilla, and thanks for the reminder. I am going to resolve and extend, like a smart girl should. D. Post by, RR. It go for Muse mate, just had 1/2 gram of Crystal Wife and to be honest it's overpriced for its strength. I mean I smoked it all in under 8 hours and it didn't hit half as hard as Vortex's. I am awarding an order off the company bad timing really cause I just went 2 days with no sleep. If that was American meth it had been up for 4 days, give the company a go. Post by, Cacawaths. He's no scammer, just falling behind. My order on the 5th was marked in transit on the 8th, but after a week, I still hadn't received it. Waited the full week to message him, per his vendor page, and a few days later he confirms that it hadn't shipped, apologized, and offered a fat reship, which I got today. Took longer than I wanted, but he kept his word, the crystal was excellent, and I'm happy. Remember that it's easier to get what you want by keeping a cool head and remaining rational. People often fly off the handle, and when they do, the prevailing attitude from the vendor at that point is like fuck them. It's human nature. What I think happens is that many vendors with great product and great initial customer service just get overwhelmed with orders to the point that they can't keep up with it all. And rather than go into stealth mode so that they can catch up, they keep trying to manage the unmanageable. It's like they go into a state of denial or something. Bad batch, shady partner, medical issues, security concerns, whatever the problem, it spirals out of control quickly, especially when the vendor is already falling behind. Kind of like credit card debt. And it seems to happen primarily to F&H vendors. Post-buy, Tweedledum. No wonder Cacaoeths has plus 52 karma, his post makes a lot of sense. How do you pronounce Cacaoeths, anyway? There have been lots of grumblings lately about vendors ignoring the PMs sent to them. I could imagine that some vendors may get dozens, perhaps hundreds, of PMs, especially when they fall behind IDK about the rest of you, but my Taurus slew one, and I would shoot myself in the head if I had to answer more than a few PMs a day. Last day before the weekend, waiting on an order that's been in the works for a couple weeks now, and I really hope it makes it today. Still, I caught my vendor at a bad time, timing is everything, so I'm not upset. Post-buy, Trombond. I totally understand what you guys are saying. It can't be easy to keep track of that many orders. But you forget that we are paying quite a bit of money as well. My initial order placed on the 11th was marked shipped on the 12th. Nothing shows, then I hear about that bad batch. Fine, but when the vendor makes adamant statements about not every marking it shipped until it is already out the door, and then no news, that is just misleading. Take those statements down. Anyway, I'm fine with all that, but when I send 2 messages after 10 days have gone by and no reply, what is one to think? A simple sorry it is taking longer than I hoped, but I'm on your order and will let you know the minute it ships, even if a bulk email can totally diffuse the situation. No response to multiple emails sends a strong message to customers. I know I'm totally going off and being irrational, but what level of service does tolerate, and how long must one wait to hear word from the vendor before anger rears its head? This is coming from someone who has been ripped off of $300 plus from vendors that disappeared, as many of you probably have as well. /end rant. Post-buy, Pinkman. Sounds like you've got crazy patients too willing to order from Germany and Canada, unless you're from ounce or some other non-US country. Post-buy, Quay 1979. I couldn't have said it better myself, see. And yes, I agree that Twok is good peeps, and I hope that my order arrives today, if I'm lucky. You ordered before I did, so I am not surprised that you got yours before me. Although I'm not far behind you, so I'll hold on tight. Now that I think about it, instead of requesting refund on the resolve, I think I'll switch it to extending it. Also have a .5 order with Heisenberg, which has been put to resolution and extended. That one was ordered same day as the one from Twok, and 11 days after it was marked as shipped, he said it never made it to the post office. Okay, I can understand if you want to wait and mail a few at a time, I get that, no reason to go to the post office every day, and according to his profile there's a massive shipment coming out. I get that, the only thing I would suggest is if that is going to be the case, just let me know, right? I can deal with the hurry up and wait. Just let me know that's what I'm doing. Nothing worse than all but salivating on my way home from work and up the steps, and open the box, and fuck me life. Uck. See. Post-buy, Quay 1979. You are absolutely 100% correct. But you have to realize that not everyone thinks the way us logical people do. And unfortunately, those that may not think rationally, have us, the buyer, by the hear of us. And our test is. I can see clearly that some are of the less is more school of communication. They would rather say nothing than say something. I get that, I grew up around that, I used to be that, and truly, I don't hold it against either. Seller. Just like Cacaoeths said, they are the victim of their own good customer service, in a roundabout way. And I think they are truly trying to do right. Will I take what I've learned from my 2 outstanding orders from 2 vendors that are taking a fortnight and plan better? Yes. Rather, fuck yes. I don't want to end up like I did this week, really in a bad place mentally and physically. Lesson learned, folks, don't be on a schedule, and just because it was Amazon fast one time, doesn't mean it will be that way the others. Post by, Toajama. Watching the price of meth rise on the road is like watching gold on the market. How high can it go? It was less than 6 months ago when my dealer was bitching about $80 grams. Now I am seeing 175. Wow, I need to rethink my investing. Post by, Quay 1979. Ain't nothin', in the mid-Atlantic the running rate for a very likely light gram is $240, 60 per quarter. It's crazy how much more expensive it is here. Granted, I don't pay that anymore, and $80 per grams is a fucking steal. Post by, USD and methylamphetamine. Spring cleaning blowout. The next 2 people to order an 8-ball and use the code word dumping in their encrypted address will be upgraded to express shipping. You must encrypt your address to qualify. Post by, Flaco. Ditto to the above. I'm not a child, don't lie to me. I can absolutely deal with, hey man, shit is slow. I won't be able to ship for a week, but when I click in transit it has hit a mailbox. The mental torture of checking the mailbox every day, counting days, making excuses for the vendor, etc. sucks. I am on the list of people supposedly shipped on Saturday by TWOC. Because of this, I start getting into the anxious mindset. Did he ship on Saturday? Before the cutoff to be picked up, or did he miss the cutoff and it actually was on Monday? Maybe he lives in some backwards place on another coast. When I start receiving mail, unrelated to SR, from all 4 corners of the USA and it is arriving in less than 3 to 4 days, I know my shit was not shipped on Saturday. Has anyone in the below list actually received their shipment? Janth Baptist BX2Y4Z. Imperceptive monkey filter did it last yesterday Pablo Caps. Numbers Minamish Gamble Shedder Drumber Boy Salidus 45 Brankton Kapla on Moon Badfish Lujan Bar. Kendricks Ajamis for Saslip Skid Link 1986. Quay 1979 Hotsnet Digitalding Little Stefan Malakisman Serenotigan Wampsimeroxy Sepavan. Jambond Multi 962 Pipeline. Kriskig Hashhead 1234, ed up. Markupalo Lards and Wishes Foxfire 60 Whatever Works Space Cadet Aegis. Post by, USD and methylamphetamine. Seriously guys, why keep asking about the prof when you can get you shard from me faster than anyone else? I have 4 8-balls up for sale ATM and they all include free express shipping. If you remember to encrypt your ADI and use the code word. And it is my guarantee that I will never ever mark an order in transit if it is not yet in the mail. Post by, Whatever Works. I'm on the list and nothing yet. I ordered another item on Friday that shipped from FL and I had it Tuesday. I know that the USPS is wacky and there are all sorts of issues and anything can delay it, but I'm calling BS on the crap even shipping. Regarding his list and the instructions for getting in touch with him, I followed his instructions and sent the message with the proper subject line and whatever else, and the message just sits there unread. And I really hate that my last few posts are of this tone. Normally I'm easygoing, but this is totally pissing me off. It's the lack of communication for the most part. Post by, Torn. If you had some singles listed, I'd jump on it. I normally don't try a vendor out by jumping in with an 8-ball as my first order. Post by, Flaco. Ditto. 0.5 or 1.0 from a vendor I am just trying out and I don't FE. Even with the escrow the money just sits there for so long. Buying an 8-ball locks up funds for a while if the deal falls through. If this talk deal falls through I am off to the company to try him out. Post by, Endorphin. So, what's happening? Most all the big name meth sellers are gone. Even the company took down their listings and they're supposed to have backing. It's the same for the coke sellers too. Isn't this a little strange? Post by, USD and methylamphetamine. I have these 4/8 balls and I am trying to get rid of them as a whole. Free express shipping, so no worry having money tied up, shipped next day or sooner. I'll let the balls stay up for a day or two, then maybe we'll list grams if I still have it. Post by Pinkman. Yeah, seeing all the feedback here of the average 1 to 2 week expect time on top of the outrageous price premium has made me reevaluate my local connect 40 minutes away, and $70 a gram is a pretty fucking good deal. Post by Pinkman. According to who? The gap between vendor-propagated myth and attempt to sell professionalism and the reality can be quite stark. Post by Jediso. I'm sure it's better to move the bigger chunks out than mess with smaller ones. I'll keep an eye out if you decide to break those 8s into 1G or 1.5G. Post by Trombond. Mail came today and guess what? Nothing. I guess I can't blame sellers for making bold claims that they rarely seem to live up to. That is called advertising. But, seriously, even if this guy does come through on the 2 orders I have with him, the first thing I will feel is shitty for raking him over the coals. The second thing I will do is finalize the order. The third thing I will do is to never, ever, order from him again. Vote with your bitcoins. False advertising should be rewarded accordingly. The thing is, the guy hasn't even logged onto his account to check his mail in 3 days. That says F you to me and to all of you who ordered from him very loudly. And believe me, Mr. USDN, if my bitcoins weren't all locked up with TWOC, I would order from you. Unfortunately, they are being held hostage by some guy who said he got a bad batch. Maybe that's not his fault, but it is certainly not my fault. And then, what now is clear, lied to everyone about shipping. That is clearly his fault. We should have known to demand tracking info after the first week had gone by and he had already listed it as shipped. Anyway, I am done bitching here or elsewhere. It is out of my system and I'm not going to post any more, positive or negative, about TWOC because he has already screwed up. And don't deserve any more of my business. Post by Tabanoid. USDN meth. I ordered meth from him last time he had it. It shipped when he said. He provided tracking. I had it in my sweaty East Coast hands in 3 days. I can tell you this about it. It was better than the 0.5 bags that I got from PTWAK during the 4/20 sale. I was the winner of the double weight promotion. When I IV'd USD's gear, I stayed high for a good 6 hours, unlike the 2 hours from 0.3 of PTWAK's gear. I didn't bitch to him because it was probably alright considering the price. If I didn't have money locked up waiting on PTWAK to not ship again, I would jump on the ball. I do have an order with the company and I'll be sure to review when it comes. Look up my history, I'm no shill for this guy, but if you're looking for a ball you might as well order from this cat. He'll get that shit to you real quick. I wish his listing was up before I put it in order with PT. Post by Priscilla Marie 90. Heisenberg, are you out there somewhere? It would be so amazing if my package came in tomorrow. Maybe even Monday, though that's cutting it real close. After Monday, it will have to spend a very lonely month in my mailbox awaiting my return. Post by Toajama. Placed an order with McGillicuddy Johns today. Ordered in the morning, marked in transit and DNC in my hands 7 hours later. I will let you know how the quality is once it makes it to my doorstep. Quick with response as well, very quick. That is killer customer service so far. HEISN processing for a week now. Hoping for late next week delivery. I miss his gear as I am finally out. Post by Flota 3. AR, TWOC. Same boat as most of his patses, I mean customers. Difference is, I just wrote it off. Number 2 purchase of wire on the road, first and last time with the TWOC. If I were interested in 8 ball quantity I would order from USDN again, he was solid last time. As it is, I am trying out McGillicuddy, we shall see how this goes. Post by Paray. Good luck. References. Post by Tabanoid. USDN meth. I ordered meth from him last time he had it. It shipped when he said. He provided tracking. I had it in my sweaty East Coast hands in 3 days. I can tell you this about it. It was better than the .5 bags that I got from PTWAK during the 4/20 sale. I was the winner of the double weight promotion. When I IB'd USD's gear, I stayed high for a good 6 hours, unlike the 2 hours from .3 of PTWAK's gear. I didn't bitch to him because it was probably alright considering the price. If I didn't have money locked up waiting on PTWAK to not ship again, I would jump on the ball. I do have an order with the company and I'll be sure to review when it comes. Look up my history, I'm no shill for this guy, but if you're looking for a ball you might as well order from this cat, he'll get that shit to you real quick. I wish his listing was up before I put it in order with PT. Post by, Pare. Okie thanks. Maybe I should give him a try as well then. 8. Post by, USDN methylamphetamine. Due to popular demand I have now listed single grams. There are only 4.5 grams. There is 6, there are still 2 balls left. Come get 'em. Post by, Ralph 123. Pictures and prices look very nice. Post by, Filter 3. USDN got me my taster super fast and it was solid. I would have gone with him again but he was out. So I went with the twok, live and learn lol. Post by, Jimmy 34. 2 things for what it's worth, and I'm sure not much to most of you after the one-sided story bashing, thanks to the assholes that jumped in. One I've ordered twice from McGillicuddy Jones this week, the second I ordered Thursday night and received this morning. Amazingly fast shipping, response time in minutes to messages, a great person, and what I think is the best meth on SR plus overweight. I've tried all but MIMM, and USND. Will never order from any other vendor ever again. 2. I received a package yesterday totally unexpected. Received a PM from the company saying sorry for last weekend, this is on us. The package, a priority mail envelope with a .40 grams single shard inside from them. No extortion, or threats of punishment with feedback, just a gift. Great guys, thank you. Post by, Priscilla Marie 90. Marijuana is my muse, is worth trying. Oh. But fucking wow, you're lucky, sounds like the company is honorable. Post by, McGillicuddy Johns. Does that mean the company is keeping records of their customers? A week afterwards. Nice gesture on a free gift but scary. Destroy all records after delivery. If you want to send a free gift, ask for an address. Records should not be kept very long. Every delivery should be expected to avoid complications. For the trader or vendor. Someone is too comfortable. Wow. Really makes you think. Post by, Digital Dong. Dear the company. Since Jimmy 34 is a good friend of mine, I think that I too should get a peace offering for compensation. The slander towards him affected me too. I believe that .4 will alleviate my woes and grievances. Sincerely, Mr. Dong. Post by, Priscilla Marie 90. LMFAO. Post by, Digital Dong. Well, IWOUDNT stoop to these levels if Prof was not off fighting windmills or invisible shadow ninjas instead of sending out orders. Thinking about going to the gay bar and seeing if I can find the goods there. Desperation is a stinky cologne. Post by, Digital Dong. At McGillicuddy Johns, it's not like you to point out the faults of other vendors so that you can tarnish their name. You must be really concerned about the buyer's safety and security. Okay, that was all sarcasm. Sales must be hurting if you're trying to cut out your competition by cheap shots such as this. Who's to say you don't have the most safe and secure practices that haven't been brought into the light yet? Hope your sales get better. Doubt they will until you figure out the right market price for dope. Good luck with your smear campaign though. Post by, Torn. All of the above reverse smear aside, retaining a shipping address for a week longer than needed isn't a policy I want from my vendor for any reason. MGJ's point might have been said in a less smearing kind of way, but the point is 100% valid. I love surprises and free dope as much as the next guy, but not when it involves my personal information being retained for 1 minute longer than necessary. Post by, Digital Dong. I would almost guarantee you that they all do that until all problems/issues with orders are resolved. What you may not know is that the guy didn't finalize for 3 days or something. What good is it for the vendor if he has the DCN but had no idea where the customer is? Maybe he kept on to it longer than he should have. We don't know the circumstances and he is brand new. Post by, torn. I snagged my orders with less than 2 hours between order placed and marked in transit. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Post by, Synergicity. I briefly mentioned USDNM the other day, but just wanted to reiterate, shipping was incredibly fast, and bag was incredibly good quality. I'm still very much enjoying it. It's lasting a good long time. We had a small issue and he resolved it quickly and very friendly. He was a total pleasure to do business with. If he will have me, I will keep coming around. Post by, Toajama. The Meth Forum roller coaster seems to be headed off the apex shooting towards the bottom. Post by, Jimmy34. Once more, what you may not know is the guy didn't finalize 3 days later. I finalized in less than 24 hours from when the option was available, and it was 19 hours from when I first knew it. Again, a few minutes after logging on, about 10:30, I fell asleep on the couch with the laptop on my lap until 5 a.m., at which time I had 20 minutes to run out the door to work for 12 hours. I finalized 10 minutes after being home. I didn't think 9.9 Bitcoin was a major deal for 24 hours. They said they had the receipt or tag with my info still from the first express order, so they still had my address. Yes, it did and does scare me a little bit, a lot, and it was the first thing that came to mind. As far as MC Johns's prices, it is well worth the 7 to 8 Bitcoin GM over TWOC because something will actually come in the mail, and it is very high quality, very high. Only 3 over MIMM, but there's no customs. IDK, I do know. I am so happy to have found McGillicuddy. His CS is amazing. Express means express, like order on night receive wet morning, and the product is awesome. Post by, BossShog1. Why go through all this crap? Just order from me and I'll give you your order plus half of your order free. So buy a gram and get half free extra, just remind me. Post by, USDN methylamphetamine. To everybody whose order was marked in transit today, I would like to make this my public apology. I marked the orders as shipped on my way to the post office and found out it is considered rules, so it wasn't open. Rest assured your orders will be shipped as soon as humanly possible. Those of you who paid for first-class shipping, I'll bump it up to priority for my mistake. Post by, Pinkman. I agree, you were treated like shit by someone that, to be blunt, seemed like he was in a sleep-deprived, meth-fueled rage. Fortunately for you, he's since recognized his drama was a result of his own shortcomings and has tried to make up. Still, I can't blame you for ruling out the vendor from future consideration. Customers shouldn't have to deal with irrational fits of anger from a vendor for any reason, and the initial disrespect in spite of being a brand new vendor is, IMO, a blaring red light. If McCutty Jones is in Canada, how is there no customs? Post by, Trombond. Come on, someone's gotta give DD props for his comment about the Shadow Ninjas. That was funny, and pathetically true, as shit. I got one. What's a drug dealer who is a bunch of people knocking on his door to buy his imaginary shit, but who is either holding nothing or so tweaking so hard he's too paranoid to answer the door? Post by, Digital Dong. Too easy, the professor tweak. Post by, Pinkman. Yeah, but judging from his 5/25 updated vendor page, he does seem to be having very specialized problems related with security. Given his strong track record up to this point and no one else truly knows what he's going through, it would be hard for me to hold it against him, even though it sucks to have your money tied up when you could be putting it to good use elsewhere. It's to your benefit as well as his that any perceived security issues are resolved prior to making good on your order. Post by, Filter 3. Doesn't scan. Previous updates claim shipments 5/19 timeframe. At least one of which was priority and had not shown up 5/25. This is a transparent attempt to garner sympathy and or deflect blame. Make noise in the East, while escaping to the west. Claims of security issues are always the best way to shut down criticism in its tracks. Just look at the war on terror. LOLOL. Post by Pinkman. Oh yeah, if it's from 5/19 and he said it had been priority mailed, I see why you're pissed. But he does have a track record of going out of his way to make up his fuck-ups, so I'd still have a hard time holding it against him at this point. I'm sure you'd rather be given an accurate answer on when it shipped than have more at a later, undetermined time, but his price is most reasonable of the established vendors and he can be scatterbrained, so I would just expect an average 1 week delivery time from him as the cost of doing business. Maybe the premium that some of the other guys charges for the knowledge that it'll be in the mail within 24 hours of your order. Post by Torn. Oh, the irony of having posted offering superior turnaround times. If we believed in Greek gods, it would have been their doing. Apology more than accepted, and I wanted to publicly thank you for just being straight with the status and letting people know, if only so they can better plan their week. As for TWOC, if it's in escrow, it's tied up, but at least it's protected. Protected from what? From the unknown. I've no idea what's going on with TWOC, but I shouldn't have to. He's a big boy dealing with whatever he has to deal with, and he doesn't have to justify or defend it because I don't have to agree with it or even believe it. Yes, he marked it in transit and he could have sincerely meant such a marking at the time, and yet the unknown still could have interfered. I'm sure he wishes bullshit of any flavor didn't interfere with shipping either, but as long as it's in escrow, my panties will remain unknotted. I think in transit should be renamed or broken into 2 phases, packing, shipping, because it's too easy to take it literally, like each vendor is checking checkboxes on their laptop for each item as it is dropped individually into local mailboxes. Post by Pinkman. +1. Couldn't agree more. There really is a huge demand for reliable and conscientious meth dealers that don't charge a 60–80% markup for their product. I've only known one such person from IRL, probably due to not doing it himself, and he's been long retired. A reliable and industrious vendor capable of ramping up his labor pool as his business expands to avoid the common pitfalls of expansion could move mad volume and clean up. Post by Nomad Bloodbath. McCarty Jones has never not had my order in the mail on day of order with a DCN number. He also does free priority shipping. Haha, I thought I was the only one to do that. At first I thought I was gonna be unimpressed with it, but very quickly I realized it had to be warm very gently to get that fresh bubblegum taste and aroma you get for high quality methamphetamine. Guys, if you are tired of getting jerked around by other vendors, it's a free world bitches, there are better options and Mr. Jones has my approval. He hit Tuesday, HHHHHH good. Tongue face. Post by Torn. And to quote it one more time, warm very gently, not even heat it gently, warm means warm. That's some finicky shit that will reward the patient and make them impatient in exactly the way they were hoping to be. I didn't mean to stay up 24 hours, but his gear caught me by surprise once I realized exactly how slow I needed to go. Post by Toajama. New vendor Starlight Express just ordered 0.5G. So far communication is tight and professional. I will let you know once I get the gear. Post by Toajama. Vendor review thread. Upgraded my shipping, should have gear wed. Post by Hassan Isabar. No offense here, but the photo of Starlight Express's meth reminds me of my ex-wife's funky toenails, which were, along with my heroin addiction, sufficient grounds for divorce. No, but seriously, they look nothing like meth. They look more like shrooms. Anyone else agree with me? Suggestion to vendor, put those chunks on a copy of Dianetics. Perhaps then buyers will feel more assured and confident that they will truly and completely get fucked up, and far out. Disclaimer number 1A, the Church of Scientology is a real religion as defined by the U.S. Internal Revenue Service, and we know what a truthful and upstanding agency they are. Secondly, number 1B, L. Ron Hubbard was a total genius, war hero, trained physician, humanitarian, expert sailor, prolific author, and savior, who left an incredible legacy and very, very wealthy empire. Disclaimer number 2. Oh yeah, he was also an expert filmmaker, but had absolutely nothing to do with the making of the disastrous movie Battleship Earth, which is based upon one of his science fiction books and stars actor and loyal church member, John Travolta. Disclaimer number 3. If you are a Scientologist, what are you even doing on the internet, which is a source of an aggressive disinformation campaign aimed to discredit the church and without prior approval of church officials? And particularly, on a site which is actively promoting illegal drug use and is sowing the very seeds of destruction amongst humanity? Ron would never approve of illegal drug use. You are now sentenced to doing dishes at the Celebrity Center for the next billion years. Report to duty immediately. Yeah, I've been doing meth all day. Again. Hassan Sabah. Defending the right to do drugs since the 11th century. Post by Filter 3. On the kind recommendation of Nomad and Priscilla, I gave McGillicuddy Jones a whirl. Ordered Friday evening, hit back with a response that night. Got another message Saturday afternoon, on a holiday weekend. With a DCN. Dude has sick game. I got very good feelings about this guy. I will report back on how it bumps about an hour after it arrives, D. And I think I'll be forced I tell you, to rant insanely about the merits of this dude. Post by Digital Dong. I looked at Starlight's photo and 2 things. 1. Those rocks look like rocks. Like some white marble or something. I don't know the names of rock, no geologist, I have never seen meth like that. 2. Also beside those rocks is a coin. Wasn't there another vendor who used to do that? Never mind, I guess a lot of them do that. Post by Trombond. Someone riddle me the fuck, White Rock is the first 2 vendors on the meth list that shows up when one sorts by bestsellers. I pity the poor fuckers who don't read the forums. I used to order without doing so, never will again. Post by Digital Dong. Geez Hassan, get some sleep. What the fuck are you talking about? Ha ha ha. Kill the shadow people and take a benzo. Mix of MSM and N-isopropylbenzylamine HCl. Post by Aussie Reviewer Account. Post by Aussie Reviewer Account. Thanks for the advice on the good and the bad. I have read and learned quite a bit from this thread, and yes, it melted and bubbled very quick. And no, I don't burn the pipe, I keep it pretty cool. I added a couple pics, take a look. Post by Aussie Reviewer Account. Melted one of the big ones and it went down pretty quick. There wasn't a Titanic, more like a canoe. It tastes fucking shit and left a black mark inside the bowl. My mate said try some of the powder the other day instead of the rocks, and that was even worse. I have even put some on my tongue and it don't taste like any gear I've ever had. Just taking another look at the bag and I can see one large crystal that has sharp edges, the rest have curved edges. I'll grab the sharp one and give that a go. Post by Aussie Reviewer Account. Wow, just hit the big sharp one and guess what? The first taste of meth I've had, and it even burnt clear and actually took a while to melt. Looks like he'll be picking at that bag for all the sharp ones just to get a good hit. I really don't know whether or not others have received the same stuff as me, but I do know what good meth feels and tastes like. I have only just recently started smoking it, but I've been ingesting it for well over 10 years. Mind you, I do prefer the old school Galwaji gear rather than the smokable rocks of these days. I know I have sold total crap, and like I said, it prob is somewhere like 5% meth. I got a gram off another vendor last week and it was pretty damn good. 0.05 had me cranking and I couldn't even force myself to sleep. Post by Hassan Sabah. Post by Pinkman. You nailed it. That's exactly what it looks like, crack rocks. I was trying to remember what that picture reminded me of. Unfortunately, it seems like a pretty poor photo to even distinguish between whether they are crack rocks, since they could easily pass for small crumpled pieces of paper for all I know. Was thinking of trying the dive, but now have visual proof why it'd be better to steer clear. I'd be really pissed if after receiving a package I thought would be meth turned out to be crack. Post by, Antediluvian. Didn't L. Ron love meth? Equals P. Post by, Aussie Reviewer account. All good mate, I don't understand it either. I know I'm fairly new here, but even a noob should be getting what others get. He may not have sent it on purpose, I may have been unlucky, but I'm not the only buyer who has received stuff like this. If I got good stuff I would post a good review. Yeah, I scored a gram from the store last week, not bad at all. And I got a gram coming from WG when it finally arrives, can't wait to try that. Post by, Hassan Isabar. That crazy bastard was a total drug fiend despite Scientology's current anti-drug stance and participation and support of the war on drugs. His own son, Ron Hubbard Jr. said in an interview with Penthouse magazine that he did cocaine, peyote, amphetamines, barbiturates. It would be shorter to list what he didn't do. June, 1983. L. Ron Hubbard was a chain smoker but said that tobacco was okay. BC it would prepare people for nuclear war. Hence, it is very common for many members of Scientology to be heavy smokers in imitation of their master. The Church of Scientology has made public its aversion to any use of marijuana, including medical marijuana, and even condemns folks who wear hemp products. Hubbard was quoted as saying pot smokers will never be good candidates for Scientology. A truly unique character really. He was involved with black magic, OTO, in the 50s, and in the 60s he worked with U.S. naval intelligence for mind control experiments such as MK-Ultra program, which involved the dosing of LSD upon unsuspecting subjects. There is even evidence to suggest that U.S. military intelligence may have actually promoted LSD amongst the counterculture in the 60s to observe its social-political effects. What I find endlessly fascinating is the constant and continuing involvement of the U.S. government, at the very highest levels, in the trafficking of drugs like heroin, psychedelics, coke, despite their own drug prohibition. I guess money talks and bullshit walks. Oops, right, this is a meth review thread, right? My bad. Post by, Pinkman. Makes perfect sense that the rules used to keep followers in line don't apply to its leader. Cults are just microcosms of organized religions. What's amazing about Scientology is their continuing ability to operate so visibly in society despite the litany of press that's left it exposed as a rather sinister cult. Usually cults thrive by operating in the shadows away from transparency and public ridicule, and the COS has proved to be a rather remarkable exception. I'm sure this has everything to do with LRH being way ahead of the game, running the church like a private Black Ops intelligence agency while proficiently weaponizing the vast arsenal of legal tools and representation available to every high-powered multinational corporation. He was 40 years ahead of Rupert Murdoch, and his ability to retain tax-exempt status in spite of having 11 high-ranking members jailed for successfully infiltrating, bugging, and quite convincingly PWNING the IRS and FBI is the stuff that Murdoch's dreams are made of. This despite being so openly known and despised as a cult, whereas Rupert gets to parade his Black Ops Intel organization around under the veneer of legitimacy. So what I want to know is whether Hubbard ever truly reaped as the founder and titular head of the Church of Scientology? And no, I don't just mean money and influence, because of course he had those things. What I'm referring to is the secret and exotic drug-fueled orgies, the phalanx of comely female disciples acting as eager sex slaves on written command of Xenu, tawdry initiations rewarding insanely coveted inner sanctum access which required sleazy marathons of alien sex magic rituals that would give the likes of Warren Jeffs pause, methodical exploitation of female members undergoing auditing sessions that would add a whole new dimension to the origins and etymology of the Church's fabled e-meter, including the entire gamut of benefits you would expect lavished upon the prophet to an advanced and ancient alien race responsible for the existence of our species and guiding our next great step in evolutionary advancement. Because really, what would be the point of founding the enormously affluent and most high-profile cult in the world if you don't actually get to live it up like cult leaders should and do? It would all seem a tremendous waste to me. That's why it's hard to imagine that it didn't happen. You just know those original OT3 meetings at the Pinnacle HAD to involve those things. There's just no other way it could have been. Yes, which is why these sorts of tangents are sometimes woven into the fabric of any discussion. As long as it's interesting, I don't have a problem with any of it. Post by Digital Dong. It's not like Anyobi's getting anything to review for at least a few days, probably tongue face unless you're tour clients, then it's debatable to ever get the stuff is. Post by Torn. Damn you fiends love to fucking type. Post by Hassan Isabar. +1 karma for having a cool username, Breaking Bad reference. And for an educated and very well written summary of the #1 creepiest of all the creepy cults. I'd like to see you write more often, bro. It would indicate that indeed amphetamines do have significant nootropic potential if used carefully, and in moderation. Peace. D. I am the snake that giveth knowledge and delight in bright glory and stir the hearts of men with drunkenness. To worship me take wine and strange drugs whereof I will tell my prophet and be drunk thereof. They shall not harm ye at all. It is a lie, this folly against self. Be strong, O man. Lust, enjoy all things of sense and rapture, fear not that any god shall deny thee this. Aleister Crowley, The Book of the Law, Chapter 2.22. Post by Padawan 65. What the fuck is this thread about? I thought ice vendors, what is this Scientology crap? Of course Hubbard was on drugs, where else do you get those messages? Only the insane or drugs. Anyway, I am another Aussie, order from Marriage or Narismi Muse on Thursday, received today. 4 days, unbelievable. Only a sample order .25, but definitely over, had a few pipes getting good buzz on. Very clean, goes straight ahead, order definitely over. Going back for real order tomorrow. Post by Japan 1980. Anyone know of any good meth vendors based in the UK or Europe? Thanks. J. Post by Disco King 23. You could try Crystal Wife, Japan 1980, but I would not bother us all the way with the meth. I'd recommend WG or Vroom Vroom if he does come back. I've be sold sulfate as meth from the Europe. You could also try AA, but it's expensive. It's essentially a week from us. To UK, what's the problem? Post by Japan 1980. I don't like waiting a week, haha. Us it is then, I guess. Thanks for the info. D. Post by Aussie Reviewer account. Wish I got what you got. Mine's just a bunch of white powder sitting at the bottom bag right now. Post by Padawan 65. Aussie Reviewer, know how you feel bored. .5 locally last week, smoked most in one night and then was in bed before 2 a.m. after a meal. Normally she has reasonable quality, but this was like smoking sugar except had the horrible meth taste, and cost 6 times as much as this stuff. I think ice quality just varies from batch to batch. I think this person is worth another go. Perhaps message them, complain nicely and they might offer a bonus, but in my opinion worth another go. Having said that, if I got ripped off on my first deal, I don't think I would go back. Post by Digital Dong. Who is Padawan and Aussie Review taking about? Post by Manic 8 Bale. About month ago I received an order for Marijuana is My Muse. It came in great time and packaging. As for the product itself, some of the best I've had. Will definitely be getting more. Post by Toajama. Starlight Express updated his pic. Just as in Faye, should have gear tomorrow. Post by Filter 3. I will try and make this brief and to the point, but hey, wire is wire, no? Ordered Friday evening after shipping hours from McGillicuddy Jones, on kind advice of Priscilla and Nomad. Sent him a PM to confirm. He hit me back the same night. Assured me he didn't know shit about anything but shipping quality product fast. I nodded and said good sales pitch, we'll see. He also said he would ship possible Saturday, but likely Tuesday. Memorial holiday Monday, yeah, no. Saturday afternoon I get my message from McGillicuddy with a DCN. He asks me to finalize promptly on receiving product. Sure, I am thinking, I will. Just as soon as it gets here. No fee for this young man, lem tell ya. I hit my mailbox this afternoon for an unrelated business matter and lo and behold there is mail. I assumed somehow Twok had gotten off the tweaker train and followed through on his profile promises. I get home, and compared DCNs. McGillicuddy Jones got me my shit in 1 or 1.5 postal shipping days flat, over a postal shipping holiday. Finalized, and then went to work smashing up these shards. I don't smoke this stuff, so I crunch it immediately, but for those of you who care, it was pretty much all shards and crystal. Crunch crunch, make me a bump. Up the nose and bang. I am generally an excellent typist and have little problem with stimulant-based dexterity tasks. My correct typing speed has slowed by 3 times cause I'm having to go back and correct inaccurate keystrokes. Awesome drain, perfect body buzz. 5 stars. He has fast as fuck service, solid fucking gear, and unless he goes stark crazy on the non-delivery tweaker train someday he will be my go-to source indefinitely here on the road. If you are a bumper and a professional who requires quality fuel to meet the harsh demands of your chosen career, you simply can't do better than this guy. Post by, Toajama. Nice review. Bumper here as well, ordered and got clipped in the holiday slowdowns, so one more day for me. After that review I can't wait. Post by, Torn. What the fuck is up with the McGillicuddy John's official review thread being locked? Post by, Fried Rice. You can smoke ketamine, it's go to be good clean shit, otherwise it burns black. Good stuff burns clean and makes you kinda floaty and trippy. It's different to a line, give it a go. Just wondering, is his packaging nice and stealth for overseas buying? Post by, Harry Sharetta. Help. Has anyone heard from MIMM lately? Placed an order 2 days ago for 0.5 to try it out. As had read mostly positive reviews of this vendor, I've also read other posts commenting specifically on how quickly he ships, yet my order is still processing after 2 days. I'm far from new at the drug game and have always spent a lot of time around, and learning from, older, more experienced people, so generally know more than your average Joe when it comes to this scene. Now I am also a very loyal person who will stay with good vendors, providing the quality is high and the communication is easy, not too much to ask I believe. Yet I also messaged him almost 24 hours ago very politely, explaining my intentions as a repeat buyer and asking for an idea of when it would be shipped, yet have not heard a peep back, despite his profile constantly saying he's been online today. I completely understand from previous real-world experience how busy one can be in his position, but a brief reply would be much appreciated. Post by, Cantrell 54. Recently placed my first order with McGillicuddy John's and wanted to say what an awesome experience it was. Hands down the fastest ever delivery time I've experienced on SR, and that was opting for the free shipping option, us priority mail, not express. He shipped it out and messaged me with a DCN the same day I placed the order. It arrived 2 days later. As for the product, this is among the best I've tried on SR. I can't single out an absolute best ever, but there are maybe 3 batches that I would rank this stuff among. Mc Jones' product was high quality, powerful, so I did less, and clean. Mostly chunky shards too. If you haven't already, I'd definitely give McGillicuddy John's a try. Post by, Ketel Jigdaxivin. Just wondering if any Aussies have been waiting for over 2/3 weeks for a delivery from WG? I saw on his feedback that an Aussie received the package 25 days later and my last 3 experiences with him were 2 to 3 weeks, so I'm certain I should be seeing mine any day, just getting a little anxious. He's been quite willing to do the resolution thing while we wait, so no complaints at all, just wanted to get an idea of other buyers. Post by, Aussie reviewer account. 18 to 19 days today mate, will update when all is good. Post by, Toajama. Well is here, Starlight Express order. Upgraded to Express. Packaging perfect. Nicely protected 0.9 gram huge shard. I took a few pics and will upload. I crushed a little bit to test and go slow, The rail burned like never before for sure, huge rush and now flying high, this shit is gonna last forever. If anyone is leery about ordering due to photos, I will post the one I took shortly. Great service and awesome price and very high quality gear, how can you go wrong? Post by, thatfish89. Lol. Yes. He made a custom order for me 2 days ago too. I sent a message to thank him, nice bloke, went out of his way to accommodate a broke cunt like me, and he responded that he'd put it in transit after he had a nap. As I haven't FE'd and it's not in escrow, I'm starting to worry he never woke up from that nap lol. Actually wondering if he's okay, tongue face. Post by, Harry Sharetta help. Haha thanks that fish, always nice to know you're not alone. I guess the enigma is, how does one manage to consistently show up as being on SR today whilst in a comatose state? He must be a magician, in which case I have extremely high expectations for this meth tongue face. I do think it's a bit rough to expect us to finalize early though when the service is this slow. Post by, thatfish89. Given the shipping speed, stealth and product quality, I don't mind having to FE for this guy. Post by, Endorphin. Hey! Common guys, the forum is for transparent information to benefit us all. I want to know who is delivering quickly and who has good shit. If you want to chat, use messaging or get a chat room. Post by, Professor Twack. Hey up heaps. I shudder to think what has been written about me the last week, so luckily there is no one killing me on this page of the thread. Just wanted to stop in and let you know that my situation is better and mailing started today. The security issues of last week have prompted me to use a less technical fulfillment process that relies less on electronic data, and I think it is going to be the best way to move forward. I mailed a lot of orders today and refunded many more. If you are a customer that finalized early out of the goodness of your heart, please see my custom listing I have created to ensure you were taken care of. Hope to speak to each of you via PM, but there are a ton and I'm working on it. I promise. New PGP key and updates are on my page. Thanks to all of you that have sent encouraging emails. It's nice to know some of you are so patient and loyal. Prof T. Post by, Scarface. Mine has gone 30 including weekends. Requested 25% refund. Other successes in the meantime, sadly no meth at all though. Post by, Ketoljigdaxivin. Hey guys, just a quick note to say I've received WG's package today, woohoo. Sorry to everyone else that's still waiting, but I'm guessing there was a slowdown of mail from WG's hood. To answer in around 24 days, definitely the longest it's taken from him. The last few orders were between 2 and 3 weeks, but just have patience, very high change, you'll get it. Packaging and product quality is as we've come to expect from WG, top notch. Definitely my go-to man for these goods, D. Also generous as usual, around 10% extra give or take. Post by, Leech. Wow, shipping times has gone down the drain nowadays, hasn't it? Still waiting for MJM's package, I think I'm losing hope. Post by, Labot Barn. It seems to have really gone down the drain domestically as well, particularly in recent weeks. I believe we are finally feeling the effects of the deep carving of our postal system earlier this year. That, and/or dishonesty among vendors marking in transit, is becoming more pervasive. Post by, Toajama. McGillicuddy Johns, just got his gear. Nice packaging, speedy delivery, super nice professional vendor. Ordered in the shipped PM, although it was 2 days late due to USPS fuck-ups, just sat and sat. Not as beautiful as the Starlight Express 0.9G shard, but still nice clean speedy rails. I will order from him again, worth the extra coins for no problems at all. Next up, WG. Post by, Endorphin. Does anyone know how long an ESA resolution that's in under review status usually takes? Post by, Batmans. I've been following this thread for a while and thought I might chime in with a question. I'm getting some meth to sell on ESA and I'm curious how you would like me to offer it. I don't have a ton of feedback yet, as I've only just started selling weed on SR. I guess selling small 0.25 gram bags is how I'm intending on starting out. Does that sound like a wise maneuver? I can't send out samples yet, just getting started. Full escrow, no FE. Any advice will be greatly appreciated, Batman. Post by, Tweedledum. I'm guessing that the profit margin is higher with smaller weights. I also know that until a few reviews get posted, PPL won't want to risk much money. If you offer 0.25G packages, demand will be very high, so be prepared. Watch your orders, and pull your listing when you hit capacity. Be realistic about what capacity is for you. It may not be all of your supply. It may be 50 orders. It seems like the thing that PPL complain about the most is A. Delivery time. Don't say it is in transit, when in reality you cannot put it in the post for 3 more days. B. Delivery time. Don't take 3 weeks to fill an order, regardless of when you change the status to in transit. Good luck. Post by, Endorphin. Yes, good luck Batmans. I'm not a seller but I can tell you that I deal with those who are friendly, fair-priced, communicate, and get the shit to me fast. Also, I don't want to hear about your problems, just what you are going to do about it. If you number or name your different batches then you can cancel my order if that batch is gone. Like wine vintages. Sorry we're all out of the 09s in. And remember, not everyone here is nice. For starters,